say, look, ask me, do I want a problem?
No, I don't think you
I don't ever want a problem. But when they say they want a problem, I say, no problem. That's it. It makes people feel like I want trouble because I don't have a problem with it when it comes.
Said nigga that gain, nigga that like not gain weight, the nigga that lost weight, but lifted weights or some shit doing with some weight. So he big as hell, man. Man, they said nigga have muscles and shit, man. So he ain't bullshit this time.
I like red bones, my type, light skin, that's like, hello. GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic.
That's good, fantastic.
I like red bones, my type, light skin, that's like, hello. GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic, GFN, that's fantastic. Fantastic.
That's good, fantastic.
Yo, what up, man? What's going on with y'all? I got my mic started off today. You know what I mean? The right way, ain't got it, way swung off the screen and shit. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. African origin, no, brother or sister, whoever you are. Obviously, you don't read. See, listen, man, and this is a blessing. This is a blessing, man. This is a blessing right here. Because you know what? Black people don't want to know the facts. And it's crazy, right? Even when you present niggas with the facts, they'll look over the facts just to be mad. It's crazy how this just relates in general. But this right here, shout out to African origin. Thank you, man. Hey, sometimes, the blessing is in the lesson. You know what I mean, brother? I gave you, or sister, African origin, whatever you are, I gave you the answer in the title. All you had to do was Google it. All you had to do was Google it. And why would I use wow the wokey woke pro blackity blacks? Listen, man, everybody asks these questions, dog. And it's, again, I'm not even gonna go through the statistics. Go look at the videos I did in the past. Listen, okay, black people are the smallest group of people killed by police. Okay, even though they have some of the highest interactions with police. Okay, when it comes to police killing black people, all right, versus black people killing themselves or black people killing white people, bro. It's not even mentionable, right? Police still kill more white people than black people. Okay, I've done this. I don't know how many times. I'm not gonna go through it. You go do it yourself because y'all don't really want the truth, man. Y'all want to be triggered and want to be emotional. Okay, if that's what you want to do, hey, go right ahead, man. Okay, but again, I just gotta point this out because I was challenged, and I said this. And listen, bro, I pick up a lot of stuff, man, and I just grab, and I got a really good memory. So I hear something or whatever, and I inquire about it. I'm going to be curious about certain things, especially like because it involves me. I mean, um, anything with gun laws, bro, that's no joke. Okay. So if you are a firearms owner, a part of being a firearms owner is being as knowledgeable of the law as possible. Okay. You know what you can do, what you can't do. Okay. And what can be done to you and can't be done to you, whether it be by law enforcement, whether it be by assailant or whatever. Right. Okay. So I said this to, a officer of the law in this space. Shout out to Master One. Okay. And again, man, this really isn't, I'm going to use brother. I'm not trying to denigrate him, but I'm going to use that as an example. Listen, police don't know the law. Police simply enforce what the law is and what they think it to be. There are plenty of cases as where the police get it wrong. Okay. Plenty of cases because the police officer thought he had authority to do this, so on and so forth. He thought was he enforcing the law. Sometimes it's an honest mistake, but then it's an abuse of power. Okay. All right. There are good cops and there are bad cops. Just like there are good doctors, there are bad doctors. There are good teachers, there are bad teachers. There's good and bad in everything. Okay. This isn't a defend the blue or back the blue. This ain't a fuck the police either. Again, as I usually do, bro, I'm just, pretty fair and balanced. You know what I mean? And just to the facts. Okay. So I'm gonna get into the story here shortly. Okay. So this brother right here. Well, hold on, back up. Okay, so Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted on all charges. All charges. All right, all charges, which he should have been. And this wasn't a victory for just Kyle Rittenhouse. This was a victory for all Americans. Okay. Again, whether you're white, black, whether you're blue, red, whether you're Republican or Democrat, liberal, conservative, whatever, bro. Again, this protected your right to protect yourself. Okay. Anytime, all right, you'll be taught this by any training whatsoever. All right, whether it's private, whether it's a self-defense class, whether it's military, whether it's police. If someone is in the in the process of trying to remove your firearm for you, you are literally in a fight for your life. Okay, this is what I think. This is what any responsible firearms instructor, whatever, will tell you. Anybody with common sense, bro. Because what can you do once you get my gun? Once you get my gun, you can use it against me and take my life. Shout out to Master Wuhan for the 5. Thank you, brother. Shout out to JC, man. Appreciate you, man. Salute Black Conservative. Hey, man. And again, for you guys, shout out to man Lando. A man 100 grand day one in the building, man. Hey, shout out to David Johnson. David Johnson, my bad, man. I went through and I re-looked at the thing last night, man. I didn't highlight your super chat, brother. So I apologize, David Johnson. Shout out to David Johnson, bro, for always being an A1 day one. Also, bro, make sure I get to you or whatnot, man. My bad. But so that's basics, firearm basics. Okay, cool. Now, Kyle Rittenhouse got off, and everybody, oh, what if he was black? 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 Again, man, listen, you guys turn this. This is why you need to turn your TV off. Okay. When I really started to get a realistic grasp of life is once I stopped watching television. I stopped watching the news. I stopped watching all these shows. I stopped watching all these commercials. I stopped watching all this stuff, man, that was fucking getting into my subconscious mind, okay, and programming me pretty much to think they hunting us, they killing us. I'm a victim. I'm a this. I used to be a pro blackity black. I voted for Obama. You know what I'm saying? All that shit because the white man, we never had a chance. Before I had a motherfucking understanding of like, bro, stop it. Okay? Stop. I'm doing too good out here in motherfucking life, bro. Made all the fucking right decisions. I'd be damned if I'm gonna give credit to motherfucking the white man for anything I motherfucking did for me. Okay? But that's maturity. You learn better, you do better. Okay? So as with the Kyle Rittenhouse case, we have a counter case. Let me go back. Remember, I told you guys there have been plenty of cases that have been the same. For the George Floyd, you have Tony Temper. Okay. Do you guys know who Tony Temper is? Put a one in the chat if you know who Tony Temper is. Appreciate y'all for coming through, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Put a one in the chat if you know who Tony Temper is, and hit the like, bro. Hit the share, all that good shit. Hit the like, hit the share. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right. So, for you guys that don't know who Tony Temper is, let me help you out. Okay, let me help you out. Right. So Tony Temper was a white man, okay, who had almost identical, okay, identical death to George Floyd. Everything down to drug use, to the knee on the neck, knee in the back, whatnot, what have you. Him being killed by police officers during a time of distress. Okay. But lo and behold, because it was a white man, no one gave a fuck. No one cared. So get this and share it. Share my tab. All right. And this is Cato at Liberty. Tony Temple dialed 911, scared for his life. He was having a psychotic episode, he said, and was off his medication. Dallas Police Department dispatched their crisis intervention training team, 5 officers ostensibly, equipped to help those with mental disabilities. Tony had already been restrained by a local security guard when the officers arrived. All was in hand, or it should have been. But the combination of incompetence and emotional indifference displayed by the Dallas officers that night is horrifying to watch. And again, man, all of this is on tape, bro. I'm not going to play it because if I play it, they're going to take it down. Pretty much, he literally got killed the same way George Floyd was, but because there was no racial angle, no national news coverage. No one cares. Again, police kill more white people every year. Hands down. Go look it up for yourself. I'm not about to even go down that road, okay? So, Tony Temper, George Floyd, only outrage, George Floyd get killed. Cool. All right. Then we have Breonna Taylor and Ann Riley, okay? For you guys that don't know, all right, Ann Riley was literally the same situation as Breonna Taylor. And so much to, I was like, hold on, man. I thought they was pulling a motherfucking what do you call it? A Mandela effect. And I'm like, hold on, bro. This story already happened. What are we talking about here? But no, when Breonna Taylor, when they said she was killed, I was like, oh, no. Oh, girl didn't die. I thought she didn't die. She didn't die. She just got shot. But lo and behold, similar, very, very similar to almost identical. Ann Riley, white woman, to Breonna Taylor, except Ann Riley didn't get killed, but Ann Riley got her ass shot the fuck up, okay? I think they gave Ann Riley that motherfucking 50 cent, nigga. All right. So I'm gonna show you guys this. So let me I'm gonna share this for you guys. Put the links in the chat for you to find for yourself. Go read it, all that good shit. You know what I mean? Hold on, let me go back. Let me go back. Here we go. All right, here's this link. So you guys can read this at your own leisure. There you go. That's the Tony Temper thing. All right. And it's eerily almost identical to the George Floyd situation. Shout out to SKC, man. No, they didn't kill her up, man. They shot her up, though. They shot her up, but hey, she didn't die. She ain't dead, though. Shout out to Project Pat, man. You know, shot that man a couple times. You know, kill him, shot him. He ain't dead, though. Yeah, SKC, they shot her ass up, man. But hey, she's a tough cookie, as they say, bro. Let's go to it. Where's she at? Ann Riley. Okay, yeah, there we go. Here we go. So, and Ann Riley actually sued them. Don't know the situation in the case, but here we go to Ann Riley thing. So you guys look at your leisure, and we're going to share it with you. Look, you can see it. There we go. Here's the Aaron Riley case. Again, almost eerily identical, man. Exactly down to the T situation with Aaron Riley. Fugitive Task Force. Well, I hate all these goddamn. What's the name? Fugitive Task Force members sued in federal court over shooting an innocent woman during an arrest roundup. Okay. A woman mistakenly shot in her home, and officers tried to serve an arrest warrant on a man that was already in jail. Already in jail. Same way like fucking I told you, bro. It was scary, scarily close. And Riley McLeod was shot on December 19, 2019. And again, man, listen how close this was to the Breonna Taylor thing. So Breonna Taylor happened in 2020. That's why I thought it was the same story, right? Trying to serve an arrest warrant on Nicholas McLeod at a home in Wilmer. But records showed Nicholas McLeod had been in the mobile home Metro jail since the previous July. When officers with the Gulf Coast Regional Fugitive Task Force smashed through the doors of the home, and Riley McLeod grabbed a gun, not knowing they need a better editor, not knowing they were law enforcement officers. The officers fired, hitting the woman 5 times. It hit her 5 times, five. She spent almost a month recovered in the hospital. Lawsuits named U.S. Marshals, 2 deputies from Mobile and Baldwin counties, and a former officer from the Alabama Department of Corrections who were part of the task force. Attorneys are seeking damages for pain and suffering and economic relief for McLeod. Okay, so again, that link is in the chat for you guys to go and look at it yourself. All right. So we what? 2. Tony Temple to George Floyd, and Riley to Breonna Taylor. Okay. First one, two people dead. Second one, both shot, but only one died. Okay. But very, very similar stories. And again, there's never no outrage when the victim is white people. You know, white people get shot every day, B. Nobody gives a damn. Nobody blinks an eye. Whatever the fuck. Hey, it is what it is. Black person gets shot by a cop. It's racist. No matter how much fucking drugs or whatever may be involved, which same thing was for McLeod. Okay. Except they couldn't tie her to any type of drug activity. According to the evidence, she just happened to be at a residence and somebody had been there for a while. Breonna Taylor, on the other hand, hey, all the evidence is there. You go look at it. All my streams are still up. Didn't take them down. Hey, go enjoy. Right? So, before we get to this last one, now I'm gonna get back to what I was saying earlier. So, the law enforcement officer in this in the sector or whatever was saying all these things about how you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. Again, man, police really don't know the law like that. They aren't lawyers. Okay. I told you guys, man. I had a situation as to where at one point in time, baby mom wasn't complying with the court order, so I had to get pretty much a officer to show up to annotate that she didn't show up, so I could then file the what is it? Was it when she's disobeying the court? I can't think of it. It's not an injunction, but it'll come to me. But anyway, I had to file the stuff and give proof for the police case to show she didn't show up and that he tried to make contact with her and all these different things and whatnot, what have you. And, I was explaining to him just, like how the whole child support thing works for custody. And he had no idea that child support and custody were totally separate. So again, man, people all the time, man, assume that cops are lawyers when cops aren't lawyers. Cops just try to enforce the law the way they interpret it. Okay. So, he was saying all these things that was false, and I said something that was factual. I said, look, man, even if you guys wanted to use the case, which I knew it had already been thrown out, it was going to be thrown out. They were saying they weren't even looking for the gun charge. It is legal for a fucking felon. Okay. It is legal for a felon, a convicted felon who cannot lawfully have possession of a firearm, to use a firearm in defense of his life. I say again, okay, it is legal for a felon, convicted felon, to use a firearm in commission of protecting his life, self-defense. And what you're going to see here with Mr. Andrew Coffey IV is that they acquitted him of the murder charges. Okay. He got done again. And guess who he shot, y'all? Who did Mr. Coffey shoot? Can y'all tell me who Mr. Coffey shot? See, Kyle Rittenhouse just shot civilians, regular motherfuckers. Mr. Coffey laid down some police. He laid down the law. Bodies. You hear me? The thing that Breonna Taylor tried to do, he successfully did. And he took some cops down with it. I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy. That nigga shot him up, laid him down, baby. Two. Y'all know what's up. So all of you, what if Kyle was black? Nigga, don't get no better than this. Two. Now, let's go ahead and go to it. And then I'm going to point to this and go back to another case that happened in 2016 that I remember everybody got so mad about. Everybody was mad about this case. And my thing was, bruh, according to the law, listen, bro, listen. Just like in this case where it's legal for you to defend yourself with a firearm, even as a felon, conditions and things have to be met. That's what people don't understand, bro. A lot of times the law is not just that cut and dry. It's conditions and things that you have to meet so many of them in order for it to apply. Okay? That's why in order for you to be legally justified in using a firearm, you have to meet, I think they say, I'm gonna pull it up so you guys can see it. Actually, let me see. Here we go. Here it is right here. Is this it? Yeah, here we go. Here we go. We go right here. Bam. Let me share this. Make this a little bigger. I hope that's big enough for you guys to see. Let me know if you can see it. Put a one in the chat if you can see it a little bit better, okay? Put a one in the chat if you can see it. If you can't see it, hey, if I make it a little bigger, I think it's going to be to the point of where I can't really do it. I got to move stuff over, but hopefully you guys can see it, okay? So it basically goes through, hey, generally speaking, a person who's convicted of a felony is not allowed to possess a firearm. If felon is found in possession of a firearm, they can be charged and convicted for additional felony. There are, however, certain circumstances in which a convicted felon can possess a firearm. One of those exceptions is affirmative defense of necessity. Okay, affirmative defense of and then it tells you the defendant must be able to demonstrate what the hell is wrong with me, man. Reasonably feared for death or serious injury from an imminent threat, not recklessly place himself in the path of that threat, had no reasonable alternative to possession, reasonably believe that the possession would avert the threat, maintain possession only as long as necessary to avoid the threat. Okay, and it gives you USA versus Jafari Moore right here as the case law, right? So you guys look it up for yourself. Okay, so what happens is if you meet all of these things, hey, you can get away with murder, so to speak, right? It's not you getting away with murder. Again, bro, what is self-defense? Self-defense is just that, self-defense. And it's crazy to me how, again, if it's street shit, niggas is cool with it. You know what I'm saying? If it's nigga shit, niggas killing niggas, oh man, he crossed that man. Oh man, it's all in the game. You know how it go. It's the streets, is this, is that. Okay, so Kyle legally did what he did. Y'all got a problem with it though. Why? Oh, because he white. The white man winning. Well, let's get into this wonderful story of brothers winning. Okay? That's it. The brothers are winning. Black men are winning, goddamn it. And I'm telling you, ain't nobody winning more than motherfucking Mr. Andrew Coffey. So let's go ahead and get into this thing. Where that? Hold on. Let me do this. Where's it at? Where's it at? There we go. Here we go. So again, fair use. Fair use. Shout out to Prophet of Thought series, man. Shout out to TPOT, man. Shout out to X. Thank you. Larry Davis was the first black man to be acquitted of shooting multiple cops. Thank you, Prophet of Thought series. Appreciate you, man. Let me try to enlarge some of this stuff. And I'm just gonna let them play it for you, man. We're gonna play the video. And again, fair use, fair use. Just hear them out. They'll explain it to you.
A Treasure Coast man accused and charged with shooting at deputies during an early morning drug raid in his home back in 2017 was found not guilty of murder.
Meet Chris and Mark. Chris uses eToro's simple
Was found guilty of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. After a trial spanning multiple weeks, the jury reached their verdicts this afternoon in the trial of Andrew Coffey IV. Our Steve King joins us from Indian River County with reaction from both sides.
Andrew Coffey's family and friends looked relieved when they found out he was not going to be spending the rest of his life in prison, but they looked shocked when they found out he could serve up to 30 years in prison after being convicted of possession of a firearm by a felon.
We, the jury, find Andrew Jeff Coffey IV as to count 4, attempted first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer, Pat White, not guilty.
Coffey was also found not guilty of killing his girlfriend, Alteria Woods, who was killed in the crossfire after police say Coffey shot at Indian River County Sheriff's deputies during an early morning drug raid in 2017. Coffey's defense attorneys reacting to the verdict.
I'm exceptionally happy with the jury's verdict, and they applied the law properly, and they came back with verdicts that were just, that he was in a self-defense mode, that he was protecting himself, and that he did not know that these were officers outside. So I think he's vindicated from that standpoint.
No matter what, he's never going to recover his girlfriend, and that's an emotional punishment that he will suffer the rest of his life.
The sheriff says in part, quote, "It's disappointing that this jury did not see that the tragic death of Alteria Woods occurred as a direct result of the actions of Andrew Coffey IV. Our hearts go out to the Woods family as they still suffer from a loss of their daughter, but we stand by our statement that she would still be here had Coffey simply complied with law enforcement."
Guilty of the possession of a firearm by a convicted felon as charged in the indictment.
But Coffey could serve up to 30 years for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Coffey's sentencing is set for January. Reporting in Vero Beach, Steve King, WPBF 25 News.
All right. Now, so let me see. So he didn't kill the cop, he shot the cop, and he had attempted murder on the cop, but he was charged with the murder of his girlfriend because it was in commission of a crime. So what I told the officer of the law, this space, I told him just that. And I remembered that because, again, I came across this case. Okay. I came across this case back in, was it 2018, I think? This one right here. So hold on, let me jump from this one and show you this one. And I remembered this because I'd always heard of it and knew of it earlier on, but this one right here stuck in my mind simply because niggas got mad. Everybody thought it was also wrong that this dude right here, let me show this. Let me break this down. So there we go. That this young fella right here in Alabama rejected a 25-year plea deal, okay? And they hit him with 65 years. Okay? Hit him with 65 because he turned down to 25. He thought he was going to beat the case. And I was just like, look, bro, anybody, a good lawyer or whatever could have told him, brother, you were in possession of a firearm, okay? And your friend was in possession of the firearm. The friend shot at the police and they killed the friend. Being that he was also not only in commission of the crime with the friend, okay, and he also had a firearm in commission of the crime, I'm like, bruh, you're dead to rights. And I was trying to tell the people, y'all mad because the man got 65 years. I'm just shit. Y'all should be glad that he alive. And y'all should be mad at him for fucking denying the fucking plea deal, because hell, you do the 25 and let me see where's the brother at? Where's it at? Keith Smith is his name, right? I'm gonna give you all this right here. And he had 10 years knocked off for, here's that link for Lakeith Smith. Okay, that's the name of the young brother that was in Alabama that rejected 25 years, and they hit him with that 65 piece. Niggas was mad. Oh, that's too much time. That's too much. I'm like, no, it's not. I mean, he could have broke the law smarter. You could have went without a gun. You know what I'm saying? Because had he had not had the gun, I think that would have knocked 30 years or whatever off the damn sentence. But on top of the fact that he had the gun, your homeboy got killed, and you guys are both in the commission of the crime, and that's what they tried to charge Buddy with, the murder charge. The murder charge, because even though he didn't kill his girlfriend got killed in the process of the thing, and they tried to charge him with the attempt murder on the police officer. And I used it as a premise towards the the law officer, and I didn't get a response. Didn't get a response. So this whole ideal and this BS, man, as to where, like, they just out here, black folks can't catch no break with the law. Bruh, again, what was Buddy's name? The rapper? What was his name, bro? King Von allegedly had several bodies under his belt. Everybody knew it. Rapped about it in his songs, bragged, all this different stuff, smoking on this pack, smoking on that pack, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then lo and behold, after he gets killed, becomes a victim of his own lifestyle or whatever, what he promotes. Come to find out, they implicated this brother, pretty much hung a murder on him, and said the girl, whoever the little famous girl gangster was of Chicago, if y'all know her name, put her name in the chat. All right, I don't know her name, I don't remember, but this little chick he was talking about, say he killed her. After he died, they tied him to a murder, man, hung a murder on him. Now, could it have been just a lower the 80% unsolved murder case rate in, like, places like Chicago or major metropolitan areas? Who knows, right? But at the end of the day, still the majority of murders, especially in black neighborhoods or whatever, man, they just go unsolved. Most of them go unsolved. Yet niggas don't get mad about that. Babies get killed. Pregnant women get killed. Anybody get killed by a nigga is cool. Even people not only justify it, man, they laugh about it, make jokes about it and stuff on the thing. People lose their babies, their kids. Ain't no sympathy. Nobody cares. It's a nigga. Nigga killed him. It's funny. But don't let that police shoot him. Don't let the white boy shoot a white boy. Not to mention a child predator white boy. Y'all niggas mad. Y'all mad for real? Over a white boy killing two white boys and shooting one white boy. All, again, I can say this now legally, all in self-defense. There were no victims. I say again, this is fact, being that he was found not guilty, found not guilty on all counts. All of his assailants, even those which are expired, were justified due to their criminal activity, not only against the area or whatnot, but directly against him. And he defended his life in accordance with the law. You should be happy, because now you can do the same. Even with this, shout out to, again, this brother right here, even though he's facing up to 30 years, will he get 30 years for a possession charge? I hope not. In Florida, whatnot, what have you, for premise, if they go through the same thing, I'm his lawyers, his defense or whatever, maybe 10 years. I think that's what they tried to give the black lady up here in Jacksonville, the lady that shot at her husband, and Black Lives Matter, and everybody complained and whined, and she got hit for the 10 years or whatever for the possession charge, shooting at not just the husband but the kids. That's according to his testimony. Being that you are committing a crime with a gun, bro. Listen, bro, if you want to knock some time, off your crime, don't use a gun. Okay, criminal activity. Okay, like clearly criminal. If you're gonna rob, breaking somebody's house, which I wouldn't suggest anyway, because you playing with your life. You know what I'm saying? All right. Don't use a gun. Okay. If you're going whoop somebody or whatever, aggravated assault, don't use a gun. When you add a gun to the mix, okay, that's a gun charge. And most gun charges, like you said, minimum for him 30 years. You can just go ahead and tack 10 years on that regardless. That's bare minimum. Commission of a crime, 10 years is guaranteed. That's all you're gonna be able to pretty much plea bargain for. Okay. Now, famous, well, not so famous, I guess, but what's the brother? Sebastian Telfair. Sad story, man. Brother that should have probably went to college, but this is in the age of coming straight out of high school, going to the NBA, whatnot, what have you. Dude got caught up with gun charges. I don't know how many times, man. He was in the news a couple of times for gun possession and stuff like that. And they finally got him, bro. I think he only did a few years, though. I think he only did like 3 years, maybe 4 or whatever. Somebody know how much time Sebastian Telfair got? Google it, or if you know on top of your head, throw it in the chat. I don't know. But yeah, man, listen. Just like Kyle, Mr. Andrew Coffey is a hero. You know why? And I'm not celebrating him. His girlfriend dying. I'm not celebrating him shooting the police officers. I'm celebrating, again, him defending himself in accordance with the law. If those people did not execute the warrant correctly, or however it goes, and something happens, you still have rights as a citizen to protect yourself. Okay, if you are against that, then okay, you for the police just being the fucking Gestapo. They do whatever the fuck they want. Ain't no law. Whatever they want to do, the police can do. Law or not, you don't want that, man. Even though that looks like what we're heading towards, right? Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Hit the like button. I ain't looking at the shit or whatever. Let's see what we got. See what y'all want. Let's see what we got. You got 100 in the building. Hey, come on, man. Hit the goddamn like button, man. God damn. Likes is free, bro. Come on now. We at 60 likes. Hit the hands, man. Hit one of the hands. All right. Hit one of the hands, man. So this brother defended himself properly. Okay. And he beat the charge. Unfortunately, he lost his old lady. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. For whatever reason, they served the warrant or whatnot, what have you. Hey. But at the end of the day, man, we got to stop this damn, if he was black, if he was this, bro, it's so many situations. Look, bro, if you guys know how mathematically is made up, okay, it's 6-to-1 ratio of white people to black people, bro. 6-to-1. Okay. Not 2-to-1, not 3-to-1. It's like 6-to-1. Okay. That's the ratio. So understanding that, bro, how do you think that these same situations that happen to black people aren't happening to white people when it's 6 times more white people than black people? Just from a basic mathematical standpoint. And again, I gave you supporting arguments and evidence to my point. Almost identical stories. Breonna Taylor, Ann Riley, George Floyd, Tony Tempa. It happens, man. It happens. But the news and the media is telling you that they hunting us. They killing us. Lo and behold, bro, this story right here got no national coverage. Why? Because, if you had some fucking conservative news network or Republican people bring this up and be like, oh, what? Here's your answer. Here it is right here. Oh man, that ain't the same. That ain't, bro. Hell you talking about? This motherfucker went to war with the cops, dog. Now, he didn't kill a cop. No, he didn't. But again, in commission of a crime, you are responsible for any people killed, and you will be responsible for that murder. Just like how, even though Kyle was directly responsible, it's the same difference. Even if you don't shoot the shot that gets the person killed, if you are in commission of a crime and a person dies in result, sir or ma'am, you are charged with that body. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a police officer. I'm not a fucking public defendant. I'm not a magistrate. Hey, I just pick up a little shit here and there and learn shit because I own a gun. Okay. I need to know any and everything that I'm opening myself up to every time I step outside of my house responsibly. You should do the same. I'm not gonna get caught up on no bullshit about the white man and the police and the this. Nah, bro, fam. I ain't got time for that, man. You know what I'm saying? White man ain't holding me back from shit. Police ain't holding me back from shit. Again, bro, I don't own a firearm now for 17 years, bro. 17 years. Been pulled over pretty much every time I've been pulled over. I was strapped. You need to learn too. Hey, is it a requirement for you to let a police officer know that you have a firearm? If you don't let them know, bro, again, I mean, it's just a simple thing. They don't ask you no questions about it, so on and so forth. Even if they do ask you a question, you don't got to tell them, hey, here you go, officer. Have a great day. Just run my information, please. I never forget. This was on the process of me and my son going to, where were we going to? Oh, so yeah, I was going to drop my son off to my ex. We met halfway. She was in here, of course, Jacksonville, and I was in Norfolk. So midway was somewhere like South Carolina. And I got pulled over through motherfucking Emporia. Shout out to everybody that's ever been through Emporia. You know what the fuck that means, right? Going through Emporia. And the cop pulled me over. Don't know where the hell these motherfuckers be at, bro. I swear them goddamn, bro. The motherfucking police in the Emporia, nigga, them niggas got cloaking devices. Nigga, I swear. Ain't no way, bro. Nigga, ain't no motherfucking way. And it's the same time, right? And I mean, this is like over a 10-year run. Cause I was in Norfolk the first time from 2006 to 2008. And I remember it's always, bro. And it just be some, and they super strict on the thing. So even if you're going 5 miles over, bro, you're going to pay that ticket. But anyway, so I'm going through I get pulled over. He walks up to the car and I go to reach into my glove box to get my registration. But then I realized, I was like, oh shit. My shit's in the glove box. So I said, "Oh man, I don't got it. I don't got my registration. Just run my plates." And he's like, "You don't have a registration?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't have my registration, but the car's registered to me and my yeah." So this is another tip too, people. Listen, the purpose is no purpose in you even having paper registration because your tag is your registration. As long as your information matches up, like address, your name, and all this other shit and whatnot, and it's your car, they run the plates, bro. Just tell them run the plates. That's just extra shit for them to do to you or whatever. I don't even know if they can cut my registration tickets anymore because your license plate is literally your registration. You know what I'm saying? All your information is gonna pop from one or two things: your tag or your fucking license. Okay, so me being the little law-abiding citizen and somewhat knowledgeable person I am, I said, oh man, hey, I don't got it. You know what I didn't do? I didn't have to let him know, didn't let him know I had a firearm in my vehicle. And he went ahead and did everything he had to do, gave me my ticket, on my way. Little stuff like that, man. You know what I'm saying? It seems small, but it can be big. Because I go and I fucking open that motherfucking glove box. He see that motherfucking pistol. Now, oh, put your hands up. Put your hands up. I got my son in the car, all these other things, whatnot, what have you. Even if it would have gave me a no registration ticket, like I said, I've seen those get thrown out when you show up with it in court. Your Honor, hey, I'm taking a long trip, road trip, whatever, cleaning out my car, didn't have the registration. My tag was valid, so I don't really know why that's a problem, but here's my registration. Pretty much thrown out. A lot of stuff the police do, bro, is just stuff to try intimidate you and all these different things, bro, because they don't think you know the law. This is why one of the biggest channels and one of the biggest things that happen is these people that go up to the cops and they challenge them. Now, just know, just be right now, goddamn. You niggas, oh, I'm recording you. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. Listen, man, all right, I can tell you this. The police fucking tell your ass got out that car. They start motherfucking touching and grabbing on you. And you were fucking resisting. Sir, you were resisting arrest. Now, there's a chance you may be able to beat that charge, whatnot, what have you. But do you want to go through the fucking? Do you want to play with your life, bro? Oh, ma'am, do you want to play with your life? Hey, man, just comply. Again, like Big Gip said in Thought Process, bro. Looking for the mutant to bucking the law. No, Gip. You know what I'm saying? Sit what he said, sit on the curb, showing my shit, and I dip. Bro, a lot of the times, dog, it just I know, bro. It's that fucking ego, that you know, these are my rights and all this other shit, bro. Is it worth it? If it's worth it, yeah, go by all means. You got time today. You know you right. And there's a chance you get that motherfucking bag in court. Hey man, take your time, do everything you can do. I remember this was what, either 2019 or 2018. The dude got him a bag. I think it was in Arizona. The brother was driving, he had a fairly new car, and the cops pulled him over for you know, obstruction of the thing. He had like an air freshener or something hanging from his mirror, right? And he's being respectful, he's being kind, and the cop keeps badgering him about, do you got drugs in the car? He's like, nah, I don't have any drugs in the car. And it's all recorded. So again, man, if you're gonna record responsibly, be respectful, and then be ready to fucking win your money. But bro, as soon as you get on the nigga shit and you this, that, and the other, you pretty much cancel out or balance out one of the two things. Most importantly, bro, don't play with your life, because that's what you're doing. Anytime you start unnecessary fucking shit with the police, bro, back and forth, all this other shit, bro, your life is at risk. Should it be that way? No, I'm not for that. I don't believe in that. That's the most fucked up thing. But again, bro, a wise man understands his limitations. You have no power here, nigga. We're in a position where it's a that loss. You take that L, and it could be the ultimate L, being your life. Hey, is it really worth it? There's a lot of prideful niggas in the grave, bro. A lot of them. So this whole Kyle Rittenhouse shit, man, showed me so much. So many brothers, man, that's so enraged and so hurt and so mad because this white boy got off. Again, bro, he didn't get off. Didn't get off. The law proved that he was defending himself. You should be happy. You should be. Because I remember, right, I think you guys were, it was messed up to where a dude in Georgia, where it was a contractor or something, that was supposed to be doing some work on his property, and the man got aggressive with him in front of his son or whatever, and either pulled out a knife or a hammer or something like that, and the man laid him down. And that man ended up doing time. They didn't let him use the stand your ground statute or something like that. So I don't know if they had that case overturned or thrown out, or he had his time reduced. I don't know what it is. I got to try and look that one up. I was trying to find out, but I couldn't. But lo and behold, man, if that's the case, that brother should be out of jail. You know, listen, man, I told you, bro, you can never be so mad with somebody, bro, that everybody plays dirty, bro. Nobody wins. If everybody's playing dirty, bro, nobody wins, because now it's no rules and no law. It's fucking, you know, survival of the fittest. And most of y'all niggas ain't fit. Okay, most people are just not built like that. Everybody think, bro, the purge. Oh, we gonna purge. We gonna purge. Really, bro? Are you gonna purge, bro? I'm from the streets. I got shooters. Okay, all right, bro. Telling you, man, this motherfuckers out here shoot the hairs off a gnat's ass, bro. You don't want that. You don't want that trouble. You don't. One motherfucker, man, take out your whole everybody. No chance. You won't even see it coming. Won't even see it coming, bro. You know what I'm saying? Know your limitations. Know what you motherfucking asking for. Anytime this shit really get to the shits, bro, and it really, really gets wild out there, everybody think they're gonna be the nigga lander, the last motherfucker standing, the king of the hill, you know, when the dust settles. No, motherfucker, you'll be the first one dead, bro. They call for the purge, nigga. I'm staying in the house. I'm staying my black ass in the house. And a lot of times, man, like I said, it's bullshit that people think that they can just, be on some, barbaric, kill or be killed, man. Even the killer niggas, bro. Again, that's a scenario where it's usually one side in power and not the other. Put them in a room with a trained killer. See what happens. Trained killer now. See, there's killers and then there's trained killers. Big difference. It's easy shooting up, kids and women and people that's just riding around in their car and you trying to take their shit or whatever. Yeah, people that can't defend themselves. But motherfuckers that are trained and they know and they're ready, that's not an easy scalp to collect, bro. I'm telling you. And again, man, like I said, at the end of the day, really, I'm still a firm believer in when it's your time, it's your time. But at the same time, bro, like you said, like I said, there's ways for you to increase your chances. Are you ever really gonna see it coming? Possibly, possibly not. But there's certain things to look for, bro, and plan for and be prepared. It's certain shit, brother, I just do on the daily, man. Just because you never know, especially with these crazy ass YouTube niggas. Motherfuckers, oh, now I know where you stay, nigga. I'm gonna pull up and all this other shit. Okay, all right, cool. Just make sure I record that, get a copy of it, so I have the defense if I have to end up in a courtroom. Well, Your Honor, right here it says clearly this is fuck fantastic and his wife and his kids and his mama and his whole family 17. That's him. You did the research or whatever. That's his picture right there. Yeah, Your Honor. Thankfully, Your Honor, he was crazy enough to put his picture next to this actual real life picture next to that screen name. So when I saw him approaching me, and I know he doesn't live where I live, and he started talking aggressively, I let him get within so much distance. I asked him to please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. I even let him know, hey, we're in Florida. This is a stand your ground state. Please do not come any closer. I had to defend myself. He already set the precedence with his screen name is enough. But then if you look at the comments of what he said, also, Your Honor, hey, this guy clearly, what am I supposed to think? He started running towards me and had to defend myself. Open the shit case, man. Do I want to take somebody's life? Of course not, man. But if it's me and you, shit, who am I gonna choose? I ain't no killer by no means, bro. But hey, I ain't no victim either. Do I keep myself out of positions or out of situations? Yeah, that's what smart people do. The least amount of the lesser that you put yourself in the position to be killed, the lesser you have chance of being killed. I mean, shit, people die every day, man. Motherfuckers, get ran over, hit by buses. People motherfucking fall over, trip over something, break their neck. The weirdest, craziest shit, right? People, like I said, some people just die in their sleep. But, when it comes to some gruesome, horrible, crazy ass shit, again, RP to Dolph, unfortunately, hey, man. That body armor is a motherfucker, dog. That body armor is a motherfucker. Yep, shout out to Little Big Name, man. Exactly. I ain't no killer, but don't push me. I don't ever want to have to take no life, bro. Don't ever want to have to take no life. But hey. Like Dr. Dre said, man, I got a lot more to lose than you. I'd be damned if I'm gonna let some motherfucking raggedy ass, mangy ass nigga take me up out of here, man. Over what? So yeah, man. Links in the chat. If y'all want to come up and discuss this This very, very realistic answer to what if Kyle Rittenhouse was black. Links in chat. Go ahead if you guys want to click it. You know, I'd like to hear you guys take on this. God damn, hold on, let me pin this shit. Hold on. Because you know, I didn't get to participate in the actual responses. Shout out to SKC. I saw him you know. Yo, what up, bro?
Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
How's it going?
Can't complain. What's going on with you?
I'm pretty good. I became aware of the coffee case like I think the same day as the Kyle Rittenhouse. I think if Kyle Rittenhouse was black, like similar, it wouldn't get enough publicity just as the coffee case did. The coffee case kind of reminds me similar to the Breonna Taylor thing, though.
How so?
It's similar circumstances. The girlfriend dying. I think the coffee shooting at the cops because he wasn't aware it was the cops at first, but he was able to get away with self-defense, which it makes sense, but it wouldn't have gained enough publicity because it's not deemed favorable with specific media platforms.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying, because it doesn't match the narrative, man. The crazy thing about it is you have to have this thing of where black victimhood, especially against the police or whatnot, what have you. So I'm confused as to how this didn't meet the news, because she got killed also, and like I said, it is similar to the Breonna Taylor case, but and hey, speaking of which, remember the boyfriend originally in the Breonna Taylor case, he was charged the same way, but they dropped charges. I think a lot of people forget about that. And the thing is, because what he did was, if y'all remember, everybody in the chat, put a one in the chat if you remember this. One of his original statements was that, oh, Breonna shot at him. This is what the boyfriend told the police now. He said she shot, which if you look at all the things, you know what I'm saying, just putting it together, it will make sense, because she took all the bullets. That's how she got killed. She wasn't in her bed sleep as the media narrative ran and people lied and all these things and whatnot, what have you. No, bro. She died and she was shot in the hallway. So this whole situation, bro, as to where this woman died, they didn't really give you the scenario or whatever behind it, but pretty much in response to this man shooting at the police, which again, he doesn't know if it's the police or not. All you know is, and in order for that to be the case, either they were serving a no-knock warrant or they didn't acknowledge themselves or whatever. You have the right to defend yourself. It just is what it is. But go ahead, my bad.
I agree. And one more thing, I think for future cases, I think it's really important for many people to like get purchase video cameras, like to place in their entrance area, to get a better idea of who is trying to enter the property. This. Well, I don't know how often does this occur, but like the Breonna Taylor case, I think that would provide a lot of that'll provide a lot of information for people prior to reacting with just gunfire, because you can get gunfire returned back at you.
Well, I would only suggest that if you're a non-criminal individual. if you're running a criminal enterprise, do not put cameras in your house. Okay, again,
all right. Okay.
I'm a lame. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm a nigga that I stayed on the curb. I never ran in the streets. I just watch you dumbass niggas get ran over and all that other shit. I learned from the curb. I would learn from your mistakes, like a smart nigga would. But if you're running a criminal empire, bro, don't put cameras in your house. It's not going to help your case.
Yeah, you make a good point. They can just confiscate it.
But we got my man SKC in the building. SKC, what's up, man? What's going on, bro?
Man, what's going on, man? I just wanted to give you a quick shout out, man, because a lot of times when these discussions come up, there's not a lot of people who will bring the actual law on screen, show correlating cases, basically give evidence that you can see on screen. You know, a lot of people just want to say, no, just believe me. I'm this, I'm that, you know, and as if that would hold up in a court of law.
Thank you.
so, so, so it's just, you know, kind of refreshing to see that, like you were stating when I was covering bits and pieces of the case, I was trying to do the same thing and refer people over to some different spots throughout YouTube where there were teams of lawyers that were covering the case, showing the case law, putting the links in the chat and in the description box of where people can look at the law for themselves and read it. But I still come back over to, you know, our corner of the tube, and people want to just rely on crazy stuff that they saw on Twitter or stuff that they saw you know, in the mainstream media as if it's true. I mean, there's so many there's so much misinformation that's still being recounted to this day. Like take for instance the whole bringing a gun across the state lines thing, being that he was carrying the gun illegally, that he was pointing the gun at people before getting in this this issue with those three men. I mean, all sorts of stuff, but they never show the evidence of what they just stated. It's just weird to me. So I just wanted to shout you out for that, man. And I'll sit back. I'm working in the background, but I may chime in just a little bit.
Appreciate you, man. And shout out to everybody in the building, man. Before I get you the kids out, hey man, anybody click the link. If you I see shout out to Angela Martin, Angel Martin in the chat. But instead of you guys going to war with people in the chat, man, come up and say your say on the you know, on the panel. The links in the chat is pinned. Everything's welcome here. We don't mind being challenged. Okay, I actually encourage it and enjoy it. So if you would like to come up here and point out to where anything I'm saying is wrong, which I don't even see why you could do that when I presented you all the evidence. But hey, by all means, hey, it's worth a try. You never hit the shot you don't take. Click the link, bro. You know what I'm saying? Please. You know what I'm saying? All opinions, you know, agreeing or you know, or opposite are welcome here.
I'll add one last thing in. Another thing that I kept hearing was people saying, oh, the dude went over cross lines with the motive to kill black people. And I'm like, okay, where is the evidence to show any of that? I mean, you have guy's social media, his cell phone was taken by FBI, all that stuff. But when it comes to this case of what happened in, I think it's called Waukesha or Waukesha, with the guy that ran through everybody, he has a long social media track record of I hate these people, BLM,
whatever.
We got to get back at these people. The law, the police officers need to be destroyed. All this type of stuff, but none of that is being stated on mainstream media right now. I find that quite interesting, but I'll listen in to everybody else's thoughts.
I appreciate you, man. Shout out to Latrell Pollard. But Andrew Coffey is facing 30 years for the gun charges. Kyle gun charges got thrown out. Again, Latrell Pollard.
God.
Again, Latrell Pollard.
Sick of these niggas, man.
Latrell Pollard, brother. This is the difference. Kyle wasn't already a convicted felon. Listen, I don't know where you're coming into and again, thanks for the 5, brother. This is the importance of the law. The law isn't about your feelings. The law is about your emotions. The law is about what you think is morally right. The law is the law, fam. And again, conditions in Kyle's, the reason why that was thrown out is because all of the conditions had to be made in order for him to be charged with it. That's why the gun charge was thrown out. The necessary statutes or conditions that had to be made for him to be charged with the gun charge were not there. Okay, that's why. So from a legal standpoint, he couldn't be charged. That's why the state didn't even argue it or fight for it. Okay. And even if that was the case, right? If that was the case, he still wouldn't have been charged with the Western because he was found not guilty. Because all of hid gun charges would have been connected with commission of a crime. So if he wasn't committing a crime because he was using the gun lawfully. You feel what I'm saying? So even in that argument, bro, y'all are off base. That's what I'm trying to say. The possession because of the age thing Go back and listen to the judge explains it. Don't take my word for it, bro. The trial is still up. However many hours of footage, live footage of this whole entire trial, you have a judge that literally broke down to you the laws and the reason why this could or this couldn't, all these different things, okay? And mind you, after all of this and all the precedents that was set for this trial to have a mistrial done either with or without prejudice, he didn't do it and he let it go through the process and the jury still decided all counts not guilty. Listen, man, y'all got to get out of this racist shit, bro. For real. Out of all the shit niggas worried about, bro, I just say y'all don't want no power, y'all don't want no progression, y'all don't want anything serious because y'all worried about white folks and they ain't worried about y'all. No one has yet to tell me how Kyle Rittenhouse being found guilty in this case would benefit black people. I'm willing to have that debate with anybody. Okay. If you can fucking put together the fucking give me at least 3 good reasons, bro, for me to have a full-on debate with you how Kyle Rittenhouse losing this trial, being found guilty, could have benefited black people, I had a debate with you. But at least give me 3, man. Solid ones. Okay. Otherwise, I'm not gonna waste my time. I don't got that much time left anyway. But shout out to my man Kid Styles in the building. Greatly appreciate your patience, brother. Go ahead.
What's good, bro? Been a long time since I've been on a panel.
Yeah, man.
This is about race, man, and the narrative. I mean, TD Jakes is brain dead. I mean, TD Jakes, of all the people, he sounded like somebody on MSNBC. Like, bro, you can clearly tell based on what the people say on Twitter. The what's her name? The fine chick on NBA, the Malika Anderson chick, when they did that little spiel, and she's angry because Kyle Rittenhouse being found not guilty is bad for black folks. None of these, they're all NPCs. None of these people have done their research. They haven't watched the trial. They haven't looked at none of the footage. I mean, and what happened? Remember when the baby got shot?
Yeah,
niggas was celebrating that, man. The baby, a real nigga. He shot a nigga in Walmart.
Yeah,
self-defense. Nobody got nothing to say about that though.
Yep.
Man, I'm tired of black people, bro. I got to take a break on black people.
So not black people.
Black people
niggas,
are just
man.
this dumb
not
unwilling to do the research, bro.
Not black people niggas, bro. Not black people niggas. Just niggas.
No, because there are some people who aren't quote unquote niggas like TD Jakes
right. You're not,
and
you know
Malika Andrews. They're not out here doing.
There are a lot of non-niggas and just liberal ass minded black folks and race warriors and race what you call it, race PTSD survivors or whatever the fuck. Yeah, so you're right, bro. You can't even just say
fantastic. I was raised in the church, right? My pops is a pastor, right? So the pastors and the people who should know better. I'm not talking about Pookie and Ray, right? I'm talking about community leaders in the church. People who should be standing on moral high ground. Like these are moral arbiters supposed to quote unquote in the community, and they're not looking for the truth, not trying to push the facts. They're just going along with what CNN said. When CNN came out after the case and the jig was up and admitted, yeah, we hit that. Yeah, we withheld that. This is actually not true. That's not actually true. And niggas still going with the narrative.
Yep.
Meanwhile, an idiot runs over people in Kenosha and we got radio silence in these spaces by people who are ex-cops or cops. I'm sick of this.
Man. Again, man, like you said, bro, no one gives a damn about the truth when the lie's more entertaining or is self-serving to the point of whatever your underlying agenda may be. Racism is one of the highest paying gigs out here, bro. Just look at what's buddy name? I can't stand Benjamin Crump, bro. Since the whole Trayvon Martin case, bro, Benjamin Crump, I don't know how much money this brother's made.
I thought you were gonna say the woman from BLM with the 3 mansions or something like that.
Well, her too, yeah. But Colors, Patrice Colors, yeah, BLM and all these other things, man. But she's not a direct thing because she has millions of people, mostly white. The crazy thing about BLM, man, is most of the members are white people, but we won't get into that. But and yeah, somehow they gave their biggest donations to LGBT groups, which of the smallest people would be the T version of the LGBT groups, which makes up less than 1% of the population, but somehow that's where the majority of the money went to. But we won't get into that. But
bam,
yeah, bam, it's a damn man. Listen, yeah, man. So it's so many things. That if you start pointing out these things, and one thing I don't like, and I see Kyle doing it. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he has a publicist or a PR person or something. at this point, and they're telling him, and he's saying that he supports BLM. Brother, after what you just did, man, trust me, don't do that.
I gotta say, I gotta say, the reason why is because Black Lives Matter makes white people feel comfortable, and if a white person says I support BLM, that means like they're not racist. You find that with liberals and conservatives. That's that.
Yeah, but let me get to Mr. KP, man. Mr. KP, go ahead, brother. It's on you.
What's up, dog? Hey, as we noticed, I don't know about Mr. Wizard. Are you African American or you Caucasian?
No, I'm black.
Yeah, so you got black guys up here. If you ever noticed in society how we're marginalized, like you said with BLM and other movements, where most black guys who come from decent backgrounds, whether you go, live a decent lifestyle, which you're not out there in the streets taking pride in, destructive behavior and unproductiveness and bragging about, how many chains you got on. But if you have some logical type of brain cells, you see through the bullshit. You see through the bullshit.
I'm not Nate also.
And when you see through the bullshit, others feel threatened by you because they say, well, dog, you supposed to be like us because you one of us. I said, nah, dog, my mentality is my identity, not my exterior. If your mentality, doesn't match mine to a degree of understanding, being objective when it comes to the facts and the truth. A lot of folks today are subjective. They go off their feelings. I don't feel this is right. The news today, and it's always been the case, but even more the last 10 or 15 years, it's no longer to inform you about the facts and the evidence. It's now to influence you as far as your thinking. So you only hear about maybe 20% of it being actual of what actually occurred, and the rest of it is all a narrative to which tries to develop someone's thinking to be like, yeah, I'm for this person. This happened. Were you there? No. But I know this happened. I know it happened. It had to have happened.
Yeah, and KP, let me say this real quick, bro. I'm glad you say this. I got to say this. Yeah, it's a great thing, brother. You brought this up, and again, this is why we had these discussions, man. This is why we let brothers talk, because it inspires, new thought or expansion of, like you said, bro. The media is no longer to inform, bro, but it's to inflame and enrage. Okay, not inform, but to inflame and enrage. Okay, and it's to get people to encourage people to just be motherfucking, this ignorance and this emotionally charged. Oh, he white, so it's just the only reason why. And let me address this person again. Sardo Numsa, brother or sister or whatever you are. I'm assuming you're a man. That sounds like Sardo. I'm guessing is a good thing. Listen, all the stuff you're talking about from here. Notice none of the violence and all that stuff. That's irrelevant, brother. Just how that the defense, the defense wasn't allowed to bring up the violent past of Mr. Rosenbaum. Mr. Rosenbaum had a very, very violent past. Okay, not only a violent past, but a violent past against children. And Mr. Rosenbaum had recently been let out of a mental institution. Okay, he had that would have been a very, very important part if there was trying to be any type of impartiality in favor of the defense. But you know what, the judge, he didn't allow any of those things to be, admitted or to the points of the case. You know why? It was irrelevant to the case. Just like the stuff you're talking about with Kyle Rittenhouse, about he allegedly beat up some girl or fought some girl however many years ago. That's irrelevant to this case at hand. Was it him beating up or getting in a fight with a girl, okay, however many years ago as a kid, years ago, okay, have to do with him defending his life, okay? And yet again, too, another thing. Listen, do you guys understand that if Kyle Rittenhouse had used a handgun versus a long gun, he would have been charged? He would have been no way around for him to get around the gun charge. Again, man, y'all don't even go and just do the simplest of research. Handguns and long guns, they're two different sets of laws, okay? You can own a long gun legally in most places at 18 years old, okay? All right? You can, and like this thing with Kyle, if you're under 18 and certain conditions aren't met, you still are legally able to possess it, all right? A handgun, for the most part, I'm thinking it's pretty much all the way throughout 21, you have to be 21 years old to possess a handgun. Now, if Kyle Rittenhouse would have been out there with a handgun on his hip or concealed or whatnot, what have you, he would have killed somebody with a handgun. Now, everything changes. But being to the fact that then he had a long gun, a rifle, y'all do your research, man. Please.
I'm not a gun owner. But why is it 21 for the handgun while it's 18 for the long gun?
It's just Somebody's gonna say something.
Nah, yeah, I actually know that one. What Rikita Law was talking about was when the laws for those specific gun laws came out was during the 90s, when there was a huge surge in gun crimes, particularly with gangs and and drugs and all of those things. So specific gun laws was made. That was around the time of the 94 crime bill of the weapons that Fantastic we're talking about. However, they did not want to punish people who were hunters, because that's up north in those areas where people
south.
they do hunt, and they also use long guns to protect their property. So that's why there was two sets of gun laws.
Okay, all right. I didn't know that. Thank you.
All
I
right,
mean, these dudes who talk with authority on these matters, how many of these guys know the laws of their state, let alone Wisconsin and Kenosha? How many of them know the laws of their own state, gun laws or laws otherwise? They just speak from authority, like, and just because they said it, because my man and them said it, grandma and them said it's supposed to be right.
And again, man, like I said, I had to learn this because I was going to when I went to Philly for my birthday. I had to know, I was thinking about taking my firearm, but then I looked at the thing, and I think I don't know about New York. I'll just speak for Pittsburgh, right? So in Pittsburgh, it is why I keep saying it backwards. In Pennsylvania, okay, Pennsylvania is a state. Okay, Pennsylvania, it is legal for you to open carry everywhere but like Philadelphia. So you can open carry without a license. But in Philadelphia, not only do you need a license to conceal carry, but you need a license to even have a firearm, from the research that I did. And being that I'm a responsible gun owner, I had to, do that research to know that, whether I could or could not, take my firearm with me. Because, that's when I go, most places I go, I'm prepared. And unfortunately, like I said, man, it seems like the most, and I think that case is still going on in the Supreme Court, where the most violent places, man, have some of the strictest gun laws. This is fact.
Chicago.
Yeah, the most violent places have some of the most restrictive and to gun laws to law-abiding citizens. This is fact. And I think it was actually in Wisconsin, or I think it was Wisconsin state, or where they changed the gun laws and they made it to where they were less restrictive, and I think they made it open carry or whatnot, what have you. And they saw a steep decrease, bro, in crime. Period. Because if you know everybody's strapped, bro, hey, you know what you're doing. You playing with your life, right? That just is what it is. But let me get to
here in North Carolina, we have a open carry. You can open carry without a permit down here.
Yeah, a lot of places. Virginia's the same way. Virginia, the Commonwealth is that way. Georgia's that way. Georgia passed that law, I want to say within the last 7 years or so, I think, if I remember right. I remember that was a big deal when they allowed open carry in Georgia. I never forget it, because I went home and I saw this dude, bro, like the worst fat ass dude, man, with some jeans on, a big ass high point hanging down by his knee to where he can't even reach it with he couldn't even touch the handle with his fingertips. And I was just like, bro, and me personally, bro, again, if you're not law enforcement, bro, to me, open carrying is like the dumbest shit ever to me. Because again, if I'm a criminal, or even if I'm just whatever, bro, you're the first person I'm gonna shoot. Either I'm gonna shoot you, or I'm gonna walk up behind you and put my pistol to your head and take your pistol off your head. Hell, it's a picture out there where this dude was walking around like an idiot with his damn strap in his pocket or on his hip hanging out. Dude steals the strap off of him, man, and just takes off running.
You want to hear something even better, bro? You want to hear something even better? How about this? Today, and shout out to everybody on the panel. Thanks for having me up. And also, before I even get into it, thank you, Fantastic, for doing this. Because as far as like the manosphere is concerned, like I've been calling them the manosphere, bro. Y'all scared. This shit don't make no sense. Because everybody so far doing these panels are on some real like the white man gonna get you type shit. I don't understand it. So now, today you're doing this panel titled what if Kyle Rittenhouse was black? So obviously if Kyle Rittenhouse was black and he got chased by those three white guys, will we really be not backing him? Like the argument is retarded. And then two, as far as like open carrying, you were just talking about something that reminded me of the story that popped up today. BLM is out protesting in Kenosha, out at the courthouse or whatever. And guess who was an armed protester uh, supporting the protest? Guess who was out there with their rifles supporting the protesters now? Not just a black man, but his daughter as well, his young underage daughter. So a black father and daughter duo are now out there on the streets of Kenosha with their long guns protesting. But you know, somehow if Kyle Rittenhouse did it, he would be wrong. One and two, the white man gonna get you. Like
Well,
I don't understand these
We
dudes,
we
bro.
can't we can't do what white people do. We can't do what white people do. Remember?
Well,
Facts, bro.
the thing about it is, this is the funny thing about it, right? Black people don't know or learn their rights until it's white.
Exactly.
You always had the ability to do this. That's what I'm saying. Black people don't know about some shit until it's white. Until the white man can do it, the white man, oh, he got away with it, so I can do it too. No, idiot. You've always been able to do it. You just didn't take the time to learn the law, or you know what I'm saying, know what you're lawfully able to do. But now that you see the white man do it and he quote unquote got away with it, now you're gonna fight the system by doing what you've always been legally able to do in the first place.
Right, and to make it worse, they would rather take away his right to protest with a gun and walk around with a gun than simply join him in arms and go protest and take not protest but protect your own property and take matters into your own hands, so to speak. Like, and instead of just embracing the rights, you rather take the rights away. That's why I was saying earlier on my panel when Kanye said slavery is a choice, y'all all got mad at him, but you about to give the white man your guns because you scared the white man's gonna shoot you. Make it make sense, bro. I don't understand this shit. And then two, like,
Conservative, don't bring that property stuff over here, man. You gonna make those dudes mad. Yeah, I don't know if Fantastic heard that, but you had law officials and other dudes talking about, nah, man, you should just not protect your property, man. You gotta let them have it. And I ain't lying.
Yeah. Yo, listen, the man of fear's favorite cop, right? I'm on the panel with him yesterday and then talking about this Rittenhouse thing. And basically the argument came down to protect life over property. And that's an argument in like a rescue situation. Like, yes, you grab grandma, you don't grab grandma's jewels. Like, that's fine. But when it comes to my property over your life, bro, you don't really want to play that game. I'm going to pick my property over your life 9 times out of 10. And I'm getting into an argument with the Manosphere's officer, and he's basically saying that you're wrong for wanting to defend your property with lethal force. And so I even brought up the rooftop Koreans. He's like, nah, they were wrong. So I'm like, well, why didn't they get prosecuted? Well, I don't know, because they were wrong.
Yeah, but again, man, like I said, man, I'm not really trying to listen, bro. Your profession does not necessarily make you an expert, dog. Again, even within states, there are different laws within certain municipalities or cities or whatnot, what have you. Some places are where in the same state it may have one law, but you go to a certain city, you can't do it. Okay. Exactly. So again, man, this thing as to where one person is now and clearly won't even accept the facts when someone pulls up in black and white, bro. Something you cannot dispute is when that shit says, federal court case la versus la or whoever versus the state. You know what I'm saying? Supreme Court, bro. That's inarguable. Okay, I don't give a fuck how many arrests you made. I don't give a damn how many guns you shot, bro. You don't override that. Okay, you just don't. And again, like you said, man, it's messed up that we can go through this thing of where it's just this emotional response to the whole process. But yeah, we'll work back around to it. But we got my man Dr. Thunder in the building, man. Shout out to Dr. Thunder, man. What's up, man? Dr. Thunder, man, I had no idea that you were an actual doctor, sir. I just thought you had a mean ass screen name, brother. So let me give you your credentials, man. Shout out. I see you doing all the instruments. I'm like, damn, man, this dude can play everything. Then comes on, he said, yes, he's a doctor of music. I'm like, oh shit. I ain't know. So shout out to Dr. Thunder, man. What's up, man? Welcome.
What's happening?
You got it.
I'm just about to get off on this exit, and then I'll chime in. But I'm enjoying the conversation. I have a few thoughts on the topic. I'll share once I get off the highway here.
Okay, cool, no problem. We go to my man Kenny. Right, go ahead, Kenny.
What's up, man? It's been a long time coming, man. I know you've been back for a little while, but my first opportunity to come back on your show, man. I'm glad to see you back. So
appreciate you, man. No problem.
Yeah. Okay. So I just came in and I've been trying to voice my opinion about this situation for the longest. I don't know why, and stop me if this has already been brought up, but I don't know why people, black people have this big issue of trying to make it a race thing when, in my opinion, obviously is not a race thing. I mean, even the first guy I think that tried to kick that Rittenhouse dude was a black man, and he did shoot at him, but he missed, but it wasn't like he kept bucking until he finally hit him. He took a couple of shots, he missed. The dude ran away, and and he stopped shooting him. But I wanted to go to the precedent, and I was on another show earlier, and I've been trying to get black people that want to make it a race thing. Let's talk about the precedent that this situation sets here. There's another big case that's going on right now as we speak, and it's the McMichael case for the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. Did you guys talk about the similarities between these two cases?
No.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So
I've been talking about that though. This is like a property defense case, bro. It's tough cases, man.
Yeah, I think I think one reason why which I read, black people are upset is because white allies were shot. White allies.
No. Okay, well, I'm gonna address that too, but okay, I'll address that first. You cannot sit here and say that it was white allies and whatever, because you know what? All throughout last year, what I kept hearing from these Black Lives Matter defender and protesters was like, "Oh well, we were protesting in the daytime, but at nighttime we had nothing to do with what was going on at night." So now all of a sudden, now they were out because that was rioting. That was not protesting. That was rioting. Okay, setting stuff on fire and shooting. It wasn't. If you listen to any one of the videos, it wasn't just Rittenhouse or whatever that dude's name is. It wasn't just his gun that went off that night. There was all kinds of gunshots ringing out at that night in any video you listen to. So just to put the kibosh on, at least in my opinion. Right, you got to be consistent. Don't sit there and say that at night it had nothing to do with Black Lives Matter, and then in order to defend what happened to these three men, it was unfortunate that all of a sudden they were out here defending out here for blacks. That's not what the narrative was initially. But going back to the comparison between Ahmaud Arbery and Rittenhouse, and there is a comparison. The comparison, in my opinion, is that you have two people running away from other people chasing them. Okay? When both of them feel like they got cornered and they had no other choice, they went to defend themselves. Now, maybe the obviously the outcome was definitely drastically different in both cases. But the fact of the matter is, if you listen to the people, the very same people that are having a hissy fit over what happened with this Ritten dude, it will say that Ahmaud Arbery had every right to do what he did, even though Ahmaud Arbery went after that guy's gun. And I believe it. I do feel that Ahmaud Arbery had no choice but to do what he did, okay, which was go after that dude's gun. You're chasing, we in the backwoods of redneck Georgia, right? No offense, fantastic, but we wherever they was, right? And you got white guys in the truck pull up on you and start questioning, hey, we want to talk to you. Like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen, bro. And I mean, you start chasing him. Some people say that the truck even hit him a couple of times. Well, in the situation with the white boy, he got hit in the back of the head with a skateboard. He got hit in the head with a rock, right? So, those situations are, similar. And when it got to the point where he felt like he didn't have no choice, one guy went for a gun in self-defense. The other guy shot because he had a gun. He shot him in self-defense. It's literally the same thing. The argument is going to be for Arbery, which it should be. I'm not saying that Arbery was wrong or anything like that. You are running away from these men. These men are chasing you. Why is there one set of rules and standards for Rittenhouse, right? And another rule is set of standards for Ahmaud Arbery. Does that make sense to what I'm saying?
Well, no, it does. Like you said, hey, that's a great point. If you're retreating, and like I said, you say they're retreating, okay, and they're in pursuit of him because of suspicion of whatever, but they're not police officers, right? Cool. and they pursue you, and you feel like you can no longer get away, and you defend yourself, cool. But then, like you said, well, who has the right to defense? So with this case, it's going to be, were those dudes did they engage and did they cause an interaction? Now, is it a strong case that they did? And you know what I'm saying? Like I said, because they were causing their interaction with him and they weren't law enforcement officers, that they're going to be found guilty because they engaged the situation, and being to the fact that he had no choice to defend himself. And now, you know, they have the firearms, they brought the firearms to the situation. Well, that's a lawful argument of where, okay, well, you bringing the gun to a situation, you instigating. Now, that's totally different. Kyle Rittenhouse didn't instigate anything. He was a person that was there and then reacted to.
And Mr. Fantastic,
Well, is the mere presence of the gun instigation?
I think you're misunderstanding the argument. I think what's being said is that Arbery was in the right, just like Rittenhouse is in the right.
No, I'm agreeing. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm agreeing. It's a fundamental argument of who has rights to self-defense. Ahmaud Arbery has his rights to self-defense because he no longer wants to retreat. But then their argument for the defense is going to be, okay, well, I'm defending myself because he engaged me. But then too, like I said, from a lawful standpoint, if you initiate you have a firearm, you're causing the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, like I said, you can't do that.
But
well, the question I wanted to kind of lay out, because when I said I covered the Arbery similarities, I took it from a different angle, and without arguing, you know, the guilt. Obviously, I've given my opinion. I thought that it was manslaughter at best, but it's not a murder thing. But the trick here is that, and when I'm talking about when I'm talking to other Black people about the whole Rittenhouse thing, and I was mentioning property, how far can you go to defend property? Because essentially what they were doing was investigating property crime. There was suspicious activity. They had already had thefts and stuff like that. He'd already been seen on camera. So in that moment when they were called to get him, they were just protecting their property. And so now the question becomes, if they are found guilty, are you now to just not investigate property crime? What happens to the neighborhood when you can't even pursue people? Because them having a gun alone, I don't think is the crime.
Well, no, that's the thing though. It's not their property. That's what they're going to be able to see. And the difference between the Rittenhouse case and the Arbery case is the chase and the pursuit.
Well, no, their property is legally not relevant, bro. Because I don't know if it says that when it comes to a citizen's arrest, you have to be the victim.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the unclear part. That's the unclear part of the argument, whether the citizen's arrest even applies. So I haven't been keeping up with that case. I haven't been watching the case, but whether or not they're going to allow that, and that falls under the precedence of citizen's arrest, and what they're saying, people were trying to say early on, is that it doesn't, due to whatever the parameters was that weren't met. So,
well, I think that the court have to determine that. So,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It'll pretty much be under the court and the jury to determine it. But Dr. Thunder, you good now?
Yeah, I am. So salute to you, Mr. Fantastic. Been digging your content, digging the conversations on your channel, and you're growing. Your channel is growing. So congratulations to you.
Appreciate it.
So see, the thing is that the facts do not matter in these cases. What matters is the narrative. So the way that the media will interpret or spin the facts will always lean towards what the narrative they have is, what's most important to them. And I've heard some folks say, I think, some critically important things to understand. Stuff like, the racism thing. That's a big money. It's a big money deal. And there's no way that they're going to let go of that. With the Rittenhouse deal, and good for him for getting off for something that should have never went to trial, in my opinion. Didn't seem like there was enough evidence to suggest that there was any malice. But if unless you were living under a rock, you saw the same footage that the media spun prior, when the whole thing went down. You saw the same footage where they were cutting certain stuff out. They didn't show the whole context. And that would be the only reason why this thing would have even went to trial, is because someone was influenced by the way that the media spun this thing even before people even got to the courthouse. So that was that's problematic. And then also the issue is it's although they're trying to spin this as some sort of racial thing, the victims were white. So so this is a real stretch, and it kind of shows you how far they will go to support their narrative. So that's my basic thoughts on the topic. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Dr. Thunder. And again, hey man, everybody's willing, you're able to come up. The man I am, brother. Well, how about you look at who he is, brother? You give me this emphatic nope with an exclamation mark, brother. How about you look it up? How about you look up who Andrew Coffey is and then get back to me about what if he was black? Again, Andrew Coffey got off on shooting a police officer, and they tried to tag the murder of his girlfriend during the offense. Okay, which he would still be under that because he was found guilty of possession of a firearm by a felon, which means he still committed a crime, which would have been a actual thing that he get caught up on the body, but they still acquitted him of the murder. Okay, even though he was in the commission of crime by having the firearm during shooting back, which he didn't get charged with the attempted murder or the murder of his girlfriend. So again, man, y'all just want to be mad. Y'all just want to be angry. And shout out to Dr. Thunder, because this brings you back to another thing. This story right here, I'll put it in the chat for you guys. You guys don't remember this. In Atlanta, there was a guy that killed 3 teenagers. They tried the home invasion, laid them all down, AR-15, killed them. You know why? Again, because bro, did the story make headlines or any stuff like that? No, it hit CNN news, but it didn't spread out. No one cared, because why? Listen, bro, this thing as where you can't defend your property is a deadly precedent. And there's another thing too. Shout out to SKC. That's something I had to bring up, bro. If you are a AR-15, AK-47, any of these rifle owners, all right, okay, those magazines hold 30 rounds. All right. This is what people used to, as you say back in the day, spray. Okay, just randomly shoot up any and everything. Bro, in order for this man to not even spend 50% of his magazine, okay, I think he might have shot 10 rounds, missing only 2. Okay, missing only 2 times. Okay, look, bro, what are you saying? If he wanted to kill black people, especially like you said, the one black dude that was there, he shot at him twice, and that was it. He could have traced that man down, shot him in the back, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. He had plenty of rounds to go, but he only shot him when he was an immediate threat, and not follow this man, track him to shoot him, any of those things. Okay. So even the narrative that people keep putting on here, man, that he was hunting black people and he was out here to kill, bro. You obviously have no understanding of guns, man, and how it works. A person that has intention to kill, I promise you, bro, does not even spend up to only a third of his magazine. I promise you that.
And the thing about Georgia, like we all see with the senatorial race, how that went both for the Democrats, is a thing. I think Georgia, a lot of people coming from up north and other areas of the country moving there, they're trying to make that state slowly, but like more of a purple state at best. And the best way to try to, like you said, fan about, enrage and engulf and make people just is the whole this state in which Georgia has its racist background, we know it, is it's them versus us. We have to unite. But if the facts don't support it, you ain't gonna blind me or fool me with it. Just so at the end of the day, when you look at the actual evidence, you say, well, no, this ain't the case. But the same thing what we were talking about Kenosha, that's up north, up in Wisconsin, and everything happening with George Floyd up in that area. It's as though they want to create some type of environment where there's racial disarray or this organization and have everybody up in a tizzy. But the thing is, if you have any logic to your being, to your mind frame, you're smart, you read, you look up stuff. Look, the Black Panthers looked up stuff when it came to guns. That's why they were where they were in California. So those who do not know your gun laws in your respective states or cities, like you were saying about Philadelphia, New York, Plaxico Burrs, he knew his gun laws back then.
Yep.
Know the laws. Children don't read. Children just go off the idea of belief. A mature adult reads. This is the freaking internet, folks. Pull it up. Take the time to put down the freaking IG and just look it up.
Literally,
that's the best way to inform yourself. Do not go off the words like gossip at the beauty salon like a damn 18-year-old little girl. Be an adult and research the information. Simple and plain. That's it.
Yeah, man. And again, bro, like I said, ignorance of the law is not an excuse for disobeying the law. That's the first thing in law. Shout out to Jay Daniels. Again, brother, a lot of Black people tell themselves that white supremacy is not real as a coping mechanism. The mind is always first to go before the body. Listen, brother, that's what I'm telling you. Jay Daniels, I would love for you to click that link, brother, and get up here and tell me what white supremacy is keeping you from doing directly. Respectfully, hop up here on the panel and tell everyone, we got 130 people in the building. Tell the 130 people in the building what white supremacy is disallowing you to do. Okay? Just tell us. Because again, bro, I should be a statistic. According to what Black men are told, right? 80s baby, early 80s baby. We were told won't live to see 21, stuff like that, right? I'm 38. I grew up single mother household. Okay. I should be dumb. I should be poor. I have a higher risk of going to jail, being a criminal. What else? What else? A lot of other shit. There's a whole bunch of other things, bro. And like I said, I'm outpacing or denying all of those stereotypical statistics that get put on a Black man like myself. It's all in choice, man. Again, the majority of Black men are successful. I don't know why we forgot about this. Okay, the majority of Black men are not in jail. The majority of Black men are not homeless. The majority of Black men are not poor. The majority of Black men are not just these horrible monsters and villains of society. Okay. Again, bro, why are we acting like the white man is keeping you from doing anything, brother? White man is keeping you from doing shit. Last time I checked, like I said, the white man love making money with and off the Black man. Can't make no money without you. All of these $1 billion pro sports teams, who are the biggest draws? Okay. Take all the Black folks out the NFL. Take all the Black folks out the NBA. Okay. What's gonna happen? Hell, take all the Black people away from Nike. Take all the Black people away from Adidas. Take all the Black people away from the record labels. What are you gonna have? So again, man, and I know that's the smallest percentage of whatnot, what have you. Even when you get to trade skills and things, remember. Now I'm gonna go back to the pro-Black argument, right? We help build this country. True indeed. So again, take the Black people away from that. So, bro, stop with the whole white supremacy thing in 2021. I just can't listen. You are a weak man to say that another man is better than you. Do you guys know the fucking definition of supremacy? Supreme. This means you're putting this person above you. You're saying they have power over you. They have dominance over you. They have control over you simply off the basis of their skin color. Mr.
And if that were true,
just real quick, and I'm gonna
if that were true,
I'm gonna kick it back to you. Let me say this, and then you got it kissed off. Listen, man, the poverty. You know how many poor white people there are in this country? Okay, they don't have the highest percentage, but again, remember, there's 6 times the number of Black people. There are more poor white people than there are Black people. Okay, I think in total, the poor white people make up the total number of all Black people, greater. Okay, if I remember right. Let's look at this real quick. But go ahead, Kid Styles, and then while I look at these numbers.
And I've been asking this question on several panels the last few days, right? If these people believe that white supremacy really is that bad, it's still all encompassing, it's still pervasive, there's nothing you can do. You know, this country will never be for us. Why don't they ever leave? And I know people say, well, that's an extreme. And at one time, SKC told me that was an extreme question, but I don't believe it is. If you've, I talked to a pro-black dude. His name is Linwood. He's been making his rounds in this space lately. And I asked him a question, and his eyes really went blank. He really couldn't fathom what I was asking him. I was like, well, because he's super on it. He believes white supremacy is like global. Ain't nothing, nobody can escape it. Well, I was like, just leave. Go to Africa. Go to a country where there are no white people. Huh? We can't do that. What? That's what he literally said. Bro, no, there's nothing. What's stopping you from leaving? Passport is what? A couple of $100 at best? Yep. Why don't they just go to a place where there are no white, or there's a very small amount of them, and black people run the show? There's plenty of countries that do that. They still exist. Nigeria is still there. Well, Ghana's still there. We have people in the space whose family are from those areas. Why do they always persist in living in a country with people who don't love them?
Well, Kid Styles, the reason why I say extreme is because it gives them a convenient way to get out of the argument. Because they'll be like, oh man, well, why don't you leave? And then it gets into that back and forth, or they'll go into this whole thing of, the super pride of, oh, black people built this country. And it's like, okay, so all I'm saying is allow that question to get to that point. Then you can have that discussion as to, okay, let's go into that. How did black people build the entire country? Because I don't think that's true.
SKC, I don't have your patience. You were blessed with the patience of God. I don't have your patience. I can't take. That's too many steps. I just want to get straight to it. I know you play. I know, because that's it's fun for you, right? That's your way. That's your method. That's not my method. My method is correct. I'm like Mo one of this bitch. Get out. We don't want you here. You don't want to be here. Just leave and do us all a favor, or shoot yourself and spare us the trouble.
But some people don't. Some people don't want to leave, and there's other people that can't leave. So I mean, it is what it is.
All right, let me share this real quick. Let me share this real quick to make numbers, to give the numbers up, right? Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys the poverty rate first. Okay, so show the poverty rate. Shout out to OG in the building, man. Shout out to OG J Speed in the building. I'm gonna get to you, OG. Give me a little second. You make this larger. Okay, so according to this, let me see. Okay, so you guys should be able to see that. Yeah, okay. So the overall poverty rate in the United States is 9%. Okay, 9%. Now, they don't have the total amount right here. Let me switch this over to Google. All right, so remember that number, 9%, right? Share the screen again. According to Google in 2019, right? That's the highest number we have. We got 236.5. Okay. So 236.5. All right. Let's get our trusty calculator. You guys can calculate it along with me. So 236.5 times 0.09 equals. So 21.28. We'll just leave it at 21 million. Okay. So that's 21 million poor white people. Okay. I think the total, let's go total black population in the U.S.
That's roughly half black people. Roughly.
Half. So exactly. So we're right at 42 million in 2019. Okay. And like you said, with the numbers from that, 21 million white people are poor in this country. Okay. So you're telling me that white people have almost half of their people make up the complete and total population of all black people. That's women, men, child, boy, girl, everything, right? Adult and child, just all black people. 21 million of white people make up. That's what I'm saying. When they say the poverty rate, that's going to count the adults because you're going by the adult thing. So what are we doing, man? Shout out to G Dizzle, man. Shout out to G Dizzle. Yeah, man. Again, we come to the white man's numbers or whatnot, what have you. But yeah, shout out to SKC, man. Greatly appreciate SKC for coming through me and pulling up on me, bro. Greatly appreciate you. But we got OGJ Speed in the building, man. OG, go ahead, brother. Thank you.
You know I love you, my brother. Can y'all hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, loud and clear, loud and clear.
You know I love you, my brother, but this is where the fault comes in the road.
Okay.
And we go always disagree on this point.
Yes, sir.
Y'all act as if even in slavery or the Jim Crow era or the 70s or the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s, that black people have always been able to overcome anything. And it was thriving. We had professors back in the 1700s. So even in slavery, we had people who freed themselves and thrived. But when we start talking about, see, this is where people, I think, don't understand. When you start talking about supremacy, well, number one, if there's no person, just like you said, we agree on this, no person is better than you. No person is better than you. No one person can hold you down. No race could hold you down. But just let's think about this, Mr. Fantastic. If you say that a person is supreme over you, then me and you won't have no fight with that. But see, y'all took the quote a little different than what it was laid out on the plate. It was laid out on the plate. It's called the system of white supremacy. Everything has a system. Listen, wait, I know you can, brother. You can say, "Here we go," all we want to.
Go ahead, OG. My bad. Go ahead.
You can say all you want to. Would you agree with this, Mr. Fantastic? Everything that you come into, from a job to everything else, has a system. Even the military has a system, right?
For the most part, yeah.
Yes, pretty much everything you come in, it has what they call a mathematical formula used as a system.
Yeah, you have to have, you use that to pretty much business models to see if it's going to be successful or unsuccessful. Yes, you're correct.
Okay. So a lot of the younger generation having confronted what we call just straight in your face racism. I understand that.
And hold up, OG, let me give you credit on that. This is one of my biggest issues and problems. So I can understand you saying and making that argument. You actually seen true, real racism, and that's why. And this is why I think we kind of miss each other. And this is why I have the issue and problem. You're still trying to apply things that you actually known and seen and you know about to today's modern age.
But I have to
exist.
I had to evolve. I had to evolve too. Fantastic. I couldn't bring a water hose or a dog biting you in the crotch or biting black women titties off in marches. I couldn't bring that story to you, what you might see today. You understand? But go back to what I said at the beginning. The system of white supremacy, everything has a system. Think about you. You don't design your household. Think about you. You wouldn't design your household to raise your kids, raise your children in the same fashion that you would raise your neighbor's kid. You would have a system in your house to make your children productive, to make your children upstanding citizens, make your children do to maximize their potential in life. Wouldn't you say that? Right?
Of course.
You know, from a military stance, it's called. There's a key statement. Words are called self-preservation, right?
Yeah.
You would preserve your family over someone else's family.
Yeah.
This is just human nature, and this maybe we shouldn't use old-fashioned word like the system of white supremacy because it throws everybody out. But if we use a new word and say self-preservation, and I'm saying you might run into some white guys or some white people in general who would just take you under their wing and teach you everything that you, excuse me, brother. You need to go use the bathroom. I mean, you
no,
got
bro, I can go if I want, bro.
what?
You can continue,
What's
but you
going
never
on?
tell me how I can
What's going on?
If I want to huff,
you got diarrhea in the throat or something?
Hold on,
if I want to huff, I can huff.
Brother, come on. I'm gonna let
go on, finish your little spiel.
Let him
but
get it off.
If I want to huff, I can huff. You ain't gonna tell me what to do.
I was just kind of wondering you got diarrhea in the throat.
I can't wait for you old niggas die off, man.
Well, you know what? This is why we can't have a decent conversation, because even when people
You started it.
disagree,
Don't get mad when I hit back. You started
when you start siding and stuff,
Just
you
like
know
when
your
they started with
microphone is
Kyle
open,
Rittenhouse
brother.
and shot them
That's
niggas.
disrespect. You
This
know
is
your
wrong with you
microphone
niggas.
is open.
You want to hit somebody, but when somebody throws stones back at you, you want to cry foul.
Look, if you
You
want
wanna
to do some
cry.
comment, you can drop a bad taxi, drop everybody down, and we can go for it. We can roast each other.
Nigga, you don't want it with me. You
No,
don't.
you don't
You're not
want none of
intellectually
me. I'm
driven.
a professional motherfucker.
You're not
You're an
smart enough.
amateur.
No, you're not, old nigga.
You're
You're not. I will run circles around you. Stop.
amateur and a
I
bad
will run
amateur at
circles
that.
around you intellectually.
Then you wouldn't do
You can't
shit.
even add.
The
Stop
only
it.
thing you would do
Stop
is
it,
put
old
your
nigga.
thumb in your ass
Please.
and bark at the moon
I've
and go
heard you
cry
speak.
like a little
I've heard you
boy
speak. You
that needs to
embarrassed
be sucking
yourself
on a
quite a
woman's
few times in
breast
these panels.
because
Stop
you
it.
know what?
Oh no,
You
nigga, go
got
ahead
mama
and finish.
issues. You
Go
got
ahead and finish,
mama
old
issues.
nigga.
And that's why you call yourself a kid.
No, I don't.
That's why
I
you
have my
call
dad in my
yourself a
life.
kid. You got mama
Where the
issues.
bill at?
I have
You
my
got
father in my
fucking
life.
mama
Yeah,
issues.
man. Yeah, hold on. All right, man.
My
Let's
father in my life.
You got fucking
No, let's
mama
go.
issues.
We'll
Go
come
play
back
with
to
a game or
We'll
something.
come back. Hey, we'll come back to the fight shit later, man. Let's go ahead and finish the statement.
Can I get
OG.
finished what I was saying, Mr.
Yeah, OG,
Fantastic?
you got it, OG. You got it. Go ahead.
Okay, what I'm saying is, when grown men are talking, and even when we disagree with each other, and me and you have disagreed with a lot of things in the past, and a lot of things we agree, but when it's an open conversation, and when you're already throwing it out the window before you hear it, because you think you don't heard it like this before,
I've heard it
that's
before.
when the
I've heard it all
communication
before.
breaks down.
Same old shit. Same old spiel.
See, this is what I'm talking about right
Tired
here.
of it.
Tired of hearing the
narrative.
just chill, man. Let him get it off, man. I'm
You
definitely
take too
gonna
long
let
to
you
get to
have
the
a
point.
rebuttal. I'll let you guys
You
have
just
a
gonna
back and forth, man.
pontificate for 48
But
minutes
let's
the
get it
same thing
off.
you've been hearing for 60 years.
But kids, I feel
I know,
you, but
man.
let him say what he got to say, man, so we can, you know what I mean, so we can have the conversation. So go ahead, OG. Come on.
I
Go ahead.
feel him too. I feel him too, because you know what, Mr. Fantastic, I got 5 children from 47 to 22. Y'all act as if old people have to die and they don't live see the life through their children. We have to make adjustments in life. But even though I'm making adjustments in life, I can't not send my children out in the street blindly. And just because there are a system of white supremacy, I have never told my children that they can't overcome anything.
Exactly.
White supremacy, black supremacy, Mexican supremacy, or any other kind of supremacy. That's where we agree along. We can't make excuses why we are failing.
Wait,
I
I
have
have a
never
question.
used the system of white supremacy to say that we should be failing.
Isn't
That's
that
why
American
I know my
supremacy
point
then?
Huh?
Isn't that American supremacy if you're referring to Mexican, then other
Right. I'm just saying,
nationalities?
even just to embark on America within itself. Here we are in the 21st century when we still have reservations. Nobody talks about that. But what I'm trying to say to make the argument what it is, or make my point is, just because there's something in front of you, that don't mean you can't jump over it or walk around it. I don't use excuses for failure. But just because you can do that and you can succeed, you cannot hold a blind eye that is not out there. That's my whole point.
You mean how like y'all always ignore the stuff that goes on in the community and y'all try to always cover that shit up like that?
Is that a question?
That we can all see with our own eyes?
Is that a question? Is that a question?
It's a statement that I
answer,
made.
is that a question?
Answer it.
Oh,
because that's all you do. I've been listening to you for several months. That's all you do. You are one of those guys that try to spray perfume over the bullshit and always make excuses for what black people are doing.
I'll let you answer it if you want to answer the question you asked me. Okay, let me answer.
It wasn't a question; it was a statement.
Okay, well then let me retort, then, my brother. So the same excuses that y'all say we made about the white man, y'all are making about women today. Now, how you take that and put it in your?
I don't talk about women.
Listen what I just said.
I don't talk about women.
I know, because you probably just don't got out the woman game.
Hold on, one question. Hey, I got a shout out to SKC asked a question. The OG, he pointed to you, and then we'll go around, and then we'll get back to it. Shout out to SKC for the 5, man. Good, thank you. Question for OG and the panel, if time allows. How did the slaves get free? On their own, or did they have help? That's to you first, OG.
There was a multitude of things. There was things that happened in Haiti that when he sent them 50,000 soldiers over there, and that boy fought them down to beat all his 50,000 soldiers and killed them and left them on that ground. There was uprising in the United States at the same time. They didn't want what happened over there to happen over here, so they started to make things a little different. Now, the Southern war and the Northern against the South and the North, that really, see, you got to put everything in just the way it was. that war was not about slavery. That war was about that the South had started printing their own money. They had started doing a lot of things, and what happened in that war was the North was losing, and so they freed the slaves by paper and told them if they joined the Northern Army that they would be free. So there was a lot of things that made these steps that made that come around to have slavery to free themselves and others too. Yes, they were help, but don't forget that war,
What
that
about the
Civil War.
abolitionists, bro?
Don't get that Civil War.
Abolitionists.
Wait a minute, don't get that Civil War mixed up as far as freeing slaves. That was an incentive for the North to pick back up what they was losing. And they know that the black men was willing to fight, and they would fight
existed
hard.
before the Civil War. Abolitionists existed before the Civil War. What are you talking about?
I said there was a lot of different things. So if I missed one or two things, my brother, then I'm pretty sure you're eloquent enough to add them to it.
Wait, I have one question for OG then.
SKC's point is, without white people, we wouldn't be free, regardless of the reason.
Well, without white people, we would never been enslaved neither, my brother.
That's not true. We
wait,
got
I
enslaved by
want-
the Africans over there first before they traded us over here. What are you talking about?
See, this is where the breakdown of education. I'm
Wait,
pretty sure
OG, I have a question for
there's
you.
over 50 countries in Africa. I'm pretty sure there were some tribes fighting against each other. But let's just talk about what we talk about, the mainstream of slavery in Africa. If Fantastic go
There's
out
still-
here and kill
you
an
realize
innocent, wait a
that
minute,
there's still
let
an
me
African
finish.
slave
If
trade today, right?
Fantastic goes out here and kill an innocent man in Africa at one time, not only would he have to work for that family that he took the resources away from, he would have to work for his own. Now, you might look at that as slavery.
What?
We didn't.
What you
You
talking
might
about?
look at that as slavery. But the African, so some countries in the African, don't forget, Africa is not a country, it's a continent. And some country, when you go out there and do a heinous crime that you have to repay, not by being locked up in jail, you have to work twice as hard for both families to support both families.
I have
Now, the
no-
white
I
man
have
comes
no
in, he
idea what
might
you're
look at
talking
that as
about,
being
bro.
slavery. But this is what we had as a sentence when you go out there and do heinous crimes. And a lot of y'all don't know
All
that.
right, man, whatever, bro.
All right, I have one question for you,
that
OG.
Kubian bullshit. you
Yeah,
trying to
hold on.
tell
Let me go ahead to Wizard X and ask your question, bro, and then it's on me. Go ahead.
All right. So when you say white supremacy, don't you mean that's just, I guess, American supremacy? When you think about, like, how I would say how diverse this, our politicians who represent each, the Democratic and each party, like we have, a biracial vice president, and we had a biracial presidents. So are you confusing white supremacy with just American supremacy?
No,
and don't you wait 1 second? And don't you?
Okay, go ahead.
And if that's the case, don't we as Americans represent American supremacy?
Okay, again, when you use the word clear and straight like that, mean you would not have any argument. But if you trying to say as they don't have a system, let's just be honest, my brother. The Constitution was not written for black people. That was a system of white people to edge out Indians or anybody of color.
That is not
It's
true.
only till the 14th Amendment came along. Listen, what I'm finna say. It's only till the 14th Amendment came along that it was exclusive written for people who was ex-slaves. Now everybody else falls under the 14th Amendment now because they're misreading what the letter of the law was supposed to be representing at that time. So if you say that this country is not still involved in the system of white supremacy, we wouldn't have reservations here in this country.
But I think those reservations are beneficial,
yeah,
especially for natives, because that's what.
Have you ever been on one?
They're actually.
Have you ever been on one?
Not. A lot of
I've been
reservations have
stationed
poverty.
at one for 2.5 years.
They have
if you want to see
like-
some
they're like
broken
the black
people,
drug abuse.
if you ever want to see
they're
some
not good
broken
at all.
people,
Wait,
I'm not talking about the ones
saying-
who
I'm
own the
saying-
casinos.
Hold on.
If you ever want to see some broken
But hold on, let me
people,
make this point.
go on an
I
Indian
wanted to say
reservation.
something. But if we
But
could,
let me make this point.
Wait, no, wait 1 second.
Wizard, let me make this point real quick.
Get it out. You got a better quality opinion.
Hello?
Let 'em-
Yeah, we could tear down these
not you.
reservations, but would that is that what the natives would want? I know some of them. I know some tribes have exclusive casino rights and whatnot. So
That's
I
only
don't think
small.
that
That's a small percentage.
I
Like,
don't think it's a fair
Very.
argument. I don't think it's a fair argument to use Native Americans in this case. Because
I think it is
don't have
because I
representation.
stayed
But
at Cherokee, North Carolina for 2.5 years.
exactly. Yeah.
And if you ever want to look at some broken people, brother,
Yep.
on them damn reservation,
But-
you ever want to look at the percentage of alcoholics on them reservations? It was so bad
But-
they had to make dry counties
They-
around
yo,
them people.
but who's
So
holding?
let me
Stop,
finish what I'm
stop.
finna say.
Let me
See,
make no,
this
bro.
is
You've
the
been going
history
for a
of the
long time.
country.
Let me go.
We
Let
want
me
to
go.
talk
Let
about
me-
the
let
good
me-
parts of
let me
this
make a
country, but we
rebuttal.
don't want to talk. Okay, well, go
You
ahead,
just-
brother.
you-
Go ahead,
Man,
kid style. Go
Because
ahead.
y'all niggas just go forever and don't let nobody talk. Like I'm sick of that shit. Look,
Okay, well, go ahead.
there's
Go
nobody
ahead, my
stopping
brother.
those people for living on those. I'm making the point. There's nothing stopping those people from living on those reservations. If they don't want to live there anymore, they could just leave.
Exactly.
There are other Native American groups who don't live on those reservations. Just like if you think this country is white supremacist and there's a system still in place that holds us back, you could just leave.
Exactly.
But y'all never.
Again,
You just stay here and
what you missed the
complain.
point. What you just missed the point is
They can't hear me.
Indians have special protection on them reservation they don't have in the mainstream.
Yep.
What
But
you
hold on,
what
OG.
point
Oh,
you're missing?
yeah, but hold
They are
OG, hold on,
granted
hold on.
certain things
OG,
on the
choose to stay there.
reservation because
Yeah, but
really
OG
they just want their land. They want certain parts of their land back.
Yeah,
they
but
don't want to
OG
be on reservation. But all them
Okay,
treaties
there we go.
was whipped back on every
Yeah, but
last one of them.
OG, listen to me though. This is what I'm saying, OG. So even if that's the case, then you it comes to the point of you as the individual and the adult, especially, or the parent, you have to weigh the the benefit versus the risk, right? Or the benefit versus the deficit, whatever it may be, right? Positive versus negative. If you're going to get these small benefits and things of no taxes or stipends, all these different things, but it's going to be the detriment of you and your family, why would you choose that?
Exactly.
Well, it wasn't a choice. See, that's the problem.
No, hold on, wait. No, it is a choice.
At
Like you
one
said.
time, it
Hold on.
wasn't a choice. You got to
But that's
understand.
well,
You
again,
become
hold
a
on.
victim
That's
of
not
your
today.
own
We don't live
environment.
back then.
Fantastic.
But yeah, but OG,
That's
that's
not
what I'm saying.
today.
So hold on. So OG,
Talk
this
about the
is
present.
the argument. OG, this is the argument we making though. This is what I'm gonna say way outside me. So like you're saying, we're not talking about then. The same thing is when it comes to white supremacy. We're talking about now. Now it's important for you to know your past and your history so you don't repeat it at the same time, right? But at the same time, you have to live, like as you said, evolving and progressing according to the time that you're in. And the biggest thing and the biggest mistake you could make is not learning from the people before you. So if
Okay,
I
I
knew that
understand
just real quick, if I knew that 2 generations before me have all ended up being impoverished, alcoholics, drug addicts, single parents, whatever, right? And all these bad things attached to the reservation. I don't know if you guys remember this chick, but I think she's in it. I don't know if she still is in, but she was in the WNBA, and I never forget it. I followed her for a little minute because her team beat Brittany Griner's team, Baylor, in one of the championships. Shoni Schimmel was her name. She's bad. She was a hooper. She was a girl hooper, basketball player, whatever. And she was just telling the story about how messed up it was for her growing up as a kid on the reservation, right? And she was saying how she's seen all these things, like you guys say, drug addiction, all these different things. Yeah, Native Americans, bro. Like I said, I think they only make up 3% of the population now. That's why I say when people say, "Oh, we're going to be extinct, we're going to be extinct, we're going to be extinct," like, hey, man, it's a hard time to kill somebody off totally and completely. All right, it's real hard, bro.
Over 100 million is not a small number. I'm glad you brought up that sport thing. All right. Because this is what I think we do a lot. We play Monday. We are in it now. Your generation are in it now. Y'all get to play the Monday morning quarterback, what people did before you, because you wasn't in it. And you know as well as I know, being in a war and talking about the end of the war or before you get in the war,
things. You're right.
It's 2 and 3 different stories.
You're right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Give it up, old nigga. It's over. The war is over. Give it up.
I'm not even saying that, my brother. I'm not even saying. See, you just looking to get something in versus having a conversation. If you don't like this
I'm just tired of y'all pontificating.
Wait a minute. I understand you're tired of old people, but you get to get on the internet right now because of old
black
people.
Don't want to hear people like
again. You get to get on the internet right now because of Bill Gates, an old motherfucker. You get to get on internet right now because of Google. You get to get on a lot of things in your life are vanished. You don't have to climb a damn pole to use a phone because of old ass people. And that's what you don't want to recognize. There's a history theory and revolution to go and evolution that goes with everything. You just Monday morning quarterbacking and think that
whatever.
you did everything for yourself and it
Oh,
was
nigga,
already
crybaby
there
tears.
for
I
you
don't want
to
to hear it.
get.
I don't want to hear it.
I know you don't want to
boomers,
get
you
it.
Generation X, y'all
Oh,
screwed
I
us
know
over.
you don't want to get it.
Screw you
Okay,
niggas.
when
I don't have any love
Fantastic,
for you.
when you
I
went into
don't.
service, right? When you went
I
into service,
cannot wait till y'all die
let me
off.
ask you a
That'll
question,
be a great
Mr.
day in America when
Fantastic.
these
You
boomers
just
are
had
gone.
Veteran Day. I heard you on Joe. What's the name? When you went into service, there was a lot of people went there before you. It used to be hard. I mean, hard as hell for a black soldier to get E7. Petty officers, it was pretty much out of because I know you're in the Navy. Hutteen Hut. And I know you're not a scuttlebutt. You ain't gonna sit around and tell a bunch of goddamn lies. But what I'm telling you, there was a lot of things that you was out there in your face due to the fact there was other sailors, there was other people in the military who went there and built that bridge. And it had to be a different bridge that anybody else came in to build because they had to work twice as hard. For you to tell your children, wait a minute, for you to tell your children today that you ain't got to work twice as hard, it's almost like, to me, it's dumbfounded. Because this is a race. I'm not talking about racism or anything. We are in a race.
Yeah.
And this is the uniform that you was given. Now, if you don't like the fucking uniform, that's up to you. But this is the uniform you wear. You cannot go be playing for the Chicago Bulls and all of a sudden you go play for New York. This is the uniform you was given. And with that uniform, there is a system of something. And if you want to be in denial of that and you think you did everything on yourself, my brother, cool, fine. You are one superhuman being that I have never ever met in my life. So it's a pleasure to meet you tonight.
What is your point? You're just talking. What is your
My
point?
point is you act as if everything just magically came from the sky without any work.
No. Hold on. Well,
that's not what I've never said that. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what I'm
I've never said
kill
that.
off all the old people who did.
No, I'm saying because you old niggas are dragging on this narrative. I get
Nobody's
it.
riding on any narrative.
But the war is over.
I say there's no
the war's over.
with me.
Let it go. It's over. It's
no
our time now. It's our generation. Your generation is done. It's time for y'all to go ahead and die.
I'm gonna leave you with this. I'm gonna leave with you. I'm gonna leave with this. Since you are a military man, if black people or Africans would have thought or think like the other people who we say don't make decisions and not puppet masters, if we thought just like them, you're right. We could be way advanced because we killed everything in fucking sight.
Look at Nigeria. Wait. I'm gonna say this, OG. I'm gonna say this, OG, right quick. I respect you, sir, and you were probably a teenager during the civil rights movement or in your 20s.
Yes, sir.
Sir. All right. So after the 68 and all from King being assassinated, Malcolm a couple years earlier, when everything went into the 70s, why did everyone get lax? Why did everyone just get tired?
Because
what happened?
again,
because my point I'm trying to make is this: we've seen everything with black women separating. Why? That's when the race split. That's when the whole the issues happened, to which we were on the same trajectory as the Jewish population or the Asian population with education. But somehow in the 60s, we fell off. Why did y'all let that happen?
Okay,
y'all
you
became
keep
contractors and not a union. Y'all said, okay, I'm going to do for myself. Forget you, brother, man. Even though we were fighting next to each other with the picket signs for 5 or 6 years, saying we shall overcome, we became individualized. Why did that happen?
If you want to know the answer to that,
that was the point of the civil rights movement.
Okay, do you want to know why that happened, my brother? Wow. Because there was a lot of things that happened in the 70s, and it really didn't start happening until the 80s. I'm sorry, you believe it started in the 70s, but that's when all the people. Let me finish. Let me ask you a question. Right. I'm not gonna filibuster. I'm gonna ask you a question. In the 80s is when a lot before the 80s, there was one TV show called Donahue. In the 80s, that's when all these lady talk shows start coming in and telling men how they should be, what they should be, and all that other bullshit. So in the 70s, you want to know what happens in the late 60s? In the 70s, integration. Integration, you take a child who have self-esteem problems and who already think that white people is better than them, and you put them all in the same classroom, what you think will happen? Exactly what did happen.
So y'all didn't foresee that being a problem?
No,
y'all even
wait.
debate?
We can't tell the federal government. We can't tell when the federal government decided they was going to bust black people into white schools and white people into black schools, which that pretty much didn't happen on the other side. What you go tell the federal government? They are the ones who supporting the school. They're the one to give grants to each state for their schools. You're not going to tell the government where you go to school.
So pretty much
Real quick, hold on. Let me get to the super chat. Shout out to the man I am. Thank you again, brother, for the $2. Gotta respect the people that came before you. I greatly appreciate that, man. I thank OG for coming through and imparting,
No,
giving
I
his experience and things. But this is what I'm saying, OG. So hear me out, right? So OG, I understand that, but at the same time, even though you can't tell the government where to go to school, again, it's still the black people's or your parents' responsibility to let them know that you're on even footing and to let them know that we fought for this because you're equal to them, you know what I'm saying? Versus what was it? You guys wanted equal
We
rights or
still burning
whatnot, what have
crosses in
you.
the 70s, fantastic. We still
Huh?
getting people hung in the
Yeah,
70s
I
and burning
understand,
crosses in the 70s. You got to understand
and
why black people
I
feel like
understand,
they
OG.
were powerless, not only with just the general public, but with the government
We gotta
itself.
go back
But OG,
50
listen,
years.
but listen what I'm
They
saying.
can't
OG,
operate in the present.
Listen what I'm saying. I think my mother was one of the last people that were in integrated schools in the state of Georgia. Like she grew up, right? So she was like one of the last people to actually start out in segregated schools, and then she was a part of integration. So this is what I'm trying to say to you, right? When you bring this up and you talk about the whole play or the impact of racism, again, it's on the parents to tell the kids, regardless of the fact, right? It's it's a wonderful analogy. Is like kids that grow up in Afghanistan or in Iran or Iraq, these war-torn countries, right? That's normal to them. And the fact that they're living, they're so used to that chaos, the things they don't even like. These kids don't even flinch when like a bomb goes off, right? They're just so used to that chaos. They're that way because their parents pretty much teach them to the fact of like, hey, listen, you can't really be concerned or worried about, what I'm saying, the shit that's gonna go on because hey, if it's gonna happen, it's over with anyway. So what these people are taught in their culture and whatever is to, despite there literally being war all around them, they still smile, they still play, they still have fun as children. So that's it's a crazy analogy to use, I understand, but that's the only thing I can think of a magnitude of extreme if you want to compare this back to, like you said, Jim Crow age, slavery age, Black America, right? So if you have these people that literally have, death at their door on the regular for whatever, reason, political, religious, all these different things, and yet still those parents instilling those children to be children and enjoy themselves, so they're going to be important, all these different things, whatnot, what have you, right? Why didn't the parents do the same thing for the black kids here? That's what I'm saying. And
Listen,
furthermore,
my answer to that, Mr. Fantastic, is I can only give you an answer that I gave one of my friends who was having problems with his mother. He was saying, why did my mother not treat me like this? And why did I not have this? And why did I not have that? I listened to his story, and she had put him out, and he was staying with me for a while. And then I went and talked to his mother. And everything that he had a problem with his mother, after talking to her, she seen it where she was problematic. The day son and mother relationship was toxic. All right. But at the end of all that she said, can I just say something to you? I'm gonna apologize to him for everything that I did wrong to him. But you got to understand, if I only have a half a glass of water, I can't give him a whole glass of water. I can only give him what I had. And at the time when me and him was having these problems, it's all that I knew. I didn't know anything different. Now I know that I was wrong. And what I'm saying about these people that you were just talking about in Afghanistan, these people are being killed by their same race. We live in a country that still have presidents on a dollar bill and $20 bills who were slave owners. Let me tell you something. Jews, as much as they love money, they would never take any currency with Hitler's picture on it. So that shows you, even today, that we really don't understand the traumatic experience that black people have had in this country and still have to face it every day.
OJ, I'm serious, not even trying to be like disrespectful or nothing. If that is the case, because a lot of black people feel the way you feel, Most black people are in line with your philosophy.
I'm building my house,
If
my
that is the
brother.
case-
Is in Africa's Drakkar synagogue. That's what you.
Whatever.
That's what you wanted me to
If
say.
that is the
It's
case,
there.
why won't y'all
It's there.
find another
It's
place
there
to
being
live?
built. Drakkar synagogue.
But
It's
that's
been
not what I'm
built.
seeing. That's not what I'm seeing. But let me finish. What I'm seeing is a bunch of black people who are benefiting from said system that they hate, like Joy Reid and Ibram X. Kendi, complaining and never doing anything about it and telling other black people beneath them that they can't get ahead. Meanwhile, they're doing that.
Okay,
Y'all
but
niggas
again,
got an issue,
that's
man.
that's the difference. Wait a minute. That's the difference in you. I can open up my house and show you. I got over 26 people at my house right now. And what I'm telling you that, yes, I have already did it fantastic. And I can put my camera on right now and go and get my mobile. And this is what I do. I don't tell people what they can't do. I don't use the word can't. Because I overcome along a lot of things myself. I'm a country boy from Charlotte, North Carolina. Listen,
wait.
what I'm gonna say.
I gotta
boy from
react to
Charlotte,
one
North
point as you
Carolina.
go. It's 20 points. Bro, 20 points. I gotta react to one point as they come along. Yes,
But I'm just telling you,
may do these things, but
Huh?
you're acting, and your actions are contradictory because you say you do one thing, but then you're trying to convince me that I should take the white supremacist system seriously. Which one is
No,
it?
I'm not.
Are
What
we
I'm trying to
free?
wait a minute, brother.
Are we?
It's just like
do we
I
have
talked about
autonomy or
Joe.
not?
Okay, you say
Are we not free
see, that's the
citizens
way
to do
you
what we
look at
want?
it. That's the way you look at it. I'm gonna tell you what I used to do with my daughter. I used to put her little playhouse in front of her door and scream loud as I could. I live. She'd come running out the door and she would trip over that damn house. About the second time, about the third time, when I
That's
did that,
abusive.
wait a minute, listen to what I just said. About the third time I did that, she learned to open that door and step over that house. And what
OG,
I'm
why
trying to
you why you pranking your daughter, man? Why you
no,
trying
it
to have a
wasn't.
knock
Look,
and peep out, man?
look. I know, Mr. Fantastic, that my daughter was going to have to deal with knuckleheads like you, and so, so I trained her to not only
by traumatizing her. See, this
no,
why
listen
black
what I'm
The
saying.
community is the way it is because niggas like
Okay,
y'all
listen what I'm
traumatize
saying.
your own daughter.
Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Fantastic. I went fantastic. I went to military school and they did
Jesus
a lot
Christ.
worse things than
Can't
that.
make this up.
Okay, listen, Mr. Fantastic. I went to military school and they did a lot worse things than that to train the mind how to see a problem, conflict resolution. And this is
There are
why
better
I think
ways to do that,
this is why
man.
I think kid is not listening to me, what I'm saying. Regardless of what's in front of you, my brothers, or side of you or behind you, that gives you no excuse to not succeed and become the best person you can. I
But
have
that's
never
not
been
your,
the one
that
to
is
use.
not
Wait
your
a minute.
doctrine. That's not
Listen,
your doctrine. I've been listening to you
I
very
live it.
carefully for several months. That's not your doctrine. That is not your doctrine. The
Listen.
doctrine of people like you and your ilk is I do one thing, I say another. I complain about a system
so
that's oppressing me.
you tell me.
Meanwhile, I'm doing other things.
You tell me how many people in the last year you motivated outside the internet.
I don't have to. Newsflash, I don't have to do none of that.
That's your doctrine.
No, you just trying to derail. You're trying to derail the conversation. You don't do anything.
I asked you a
I
question.
don't.
It was a
Get over
straightforward
it.
question.
I have the right to talk about what I want to talk
It was
about.
a
And
straight.
I don't care what you do in your life. You're not going to stop me from
I know
talking
you
about what I
don't
want to
care,
talk
but
about.
see, that's where you at. You become an individual, but you live in a social country. You know, when the last time you made a pair of jeans? When the last time you ever milked a goddamn cow? When the last time you made a car? You live in a country that everything you get mostly you have to go out there and buy. You produce
What is
nothing.
your point?
You're a
What is your
consumer.
point?
That's all you are. And then you get up on these internet and you hate anything. It's a reflection of where it came from.
What are you talking about? You make no sense.
I
You
know
and
you
niggas
think I
like
don't
you make no sense.
I don't make your sense.
And I'm going to call you out until you die.
I don't make your sense. I don't.
Because the
I don't make your
generations
sense.
after you do not need to listen to you because what y'all
look, my brother.
it's
I tell
obsolete.
you what,
And if black people actually want to make fundamental
I've seen
changes
many people
and
like
move
you.
forward, we got to stop listening
And
to
I
niggas like
listen
you.
to many people like you.
There,
and I see them bump their head against the wall. And that's why old people always say,
only niggas bumping
a
their heads
hard
in the wall is
head make
y'all.
a soft ass.
The white supremacist wall, the invisible white supremacist wall. Y'all bump into it every day. White people live rent-free in your heads every day. That's why y'all was down with Kyle.
Anything I said because
y'all were in favor of Kyle going to jail.
You haven't listened to anything I said because I'm an older person.
Yeah, but let me.
You just don't have respect for older people. That's
OG,
your problem.
OG, you know, hold on. Kiss eyes, hold on real quick. OG, I have respect for you, brother. Like I say, very, very knowledgeable, very, very experience. You like say you've seen the world, you've done a lot of things. Like say you moved out. Are you in Africa or you waiting to move
No,
to your house?
my house is being built over
Yeah,
there.
and
Dry
you're a
Park,
man. Hey,
Chestnut.
shout out to OG for being a man of his word. I know what it's been like a year now, right? A
A
little bit
year
over a year,
now,
right?
and the COVID came in and slowed up
Yeah.
everything as
So
far as
no. Listen, this is what I'm
my
telling you.
pension.
You are a
You
man.
know
Wait.
what?
So he asked
You
to
are a
move to Africa
man.
because he said that I missed
Hold
it.
on. You a man of your word. You doing you got in the process. Shout out to you for that. Most importantly, okay. That's the most important thing. You know, men keeping their words and doing what they say they're gonna do. That's the most important thing. Shout out to you for that. Like I said, you official, man. Like I said, you look like OG Speed, man. Like I said, you know, his name's out there. The brother's a man of many talents, but done a lot of things. Like I said, he life experience and worth of knowledge. Like I said, you giving a testimony of your life on my panel, which I really appreciate, brother. You know, very emotional, you know, situation, whatnot, what have you, expressing things, you know, and I definitely respect you for being transparent. But at the same time, man, like I said, you know, I think we agree. We just have a little, you know, slight disagreement when it comes to the like you said, the current versus the past. The past is important, okay, of course. You don't, let's say again, we don't learn from your from the past, your history, you're surely to repeat it. But at the same time, like I said, OG, like I said, it's like I use your argument. There's not enough people here today, my age, you know, or especially younger, that can have a justified argument for racism. It just doesn't exist that way. You had to deal with the point where, like you said, hey, you can't use that bathroom. Hey, you take your black ass to the back. Hey, you know, all this stuff. A black kid now, as a matter of fact, now they would be rewarded if something like that was to happen to them nowadays. You know what I'm saying? If a white person or any person other than black was crazy enough to do something like that, they would, you know, arguably be traumatized from it. But the windfall of it, the publicity, the payment, the you know, the possible celebrity, all these different things for them to be able to tell their story and experience this situation would be an advantage to them versus, like I said, with you guys, it was nothing but all of a loss. You know what I'm saying? Not only would you get embarrassed and, you know, hard R, N-word, but you might get your ass whooped, you know what I'm saying, and thrown in jail. Like you said, hey, hung or killed, like you said, or killed, right? So this is what I'm saying. So I use your argument to support mine. Ain't no motherfucking black folks got to worry about that like that, man. When's the last racial killing that happened? And I know people are going to allude to the hangings and the lynchings allegedly that's happened to onesie twosies here, but there's been no white person connected to that. The last clear racial thing that happened was the Dylan Roof thing. That was fucked up, is whatever. Hey, of course, clear racism, so on and so forth. And then you had the was it Mr. Bird, right? No, not Bird. What was the other guy?
The officer put the knee on the person back, and he didn't look at that person as a human being.
You missed that part. You missed that part, OG. It was a white man that got killed the same way that nobody cared about.
Right.
I
I understand, but see, when you, just like I say, this is the team uniform we have, Mr. Fantastic, and we all live in this country as citizens of this country. I do understand that. And
that's another great point too, OG. Yeah, listen, these kids actually grew up, like my kids and anybody after me, they grew up with a black president. That's hard to, and
right.
I know that doesn't eliminate racism, but to have the black man serve, well, you know, a African, okay, African man with a white mom, okay, and be accurate because Barack Obama's not black, even though y'all niggas claim it.
Thank you.
But you know, a African, you know what I'm saying? There were people, they got your black ass to vote for him, telling you he was black, okay?
Most certainly.
You know, he did have a black wife, you know what I'm saying? His wife is African American.
That's all that matters.
That's what these kids grew up to. You know what I'm saying? So,
I understand. Wait a minute. And white kids grew. Wait a minute. In the last 30 years, white kids grew up with black rappers, Michael Jordan. You understand? So I'm telling you, just because you don't see the hardliners of what I experienced, but go back and look at Bank of America, how much money they just had. They could play $500-something million. For red line.
OG Speed. I gotta ask you a question.
Real quick, kids, I'm gonna kick it to you. Man, I'm mad as hell at Bank of America. Bank of America got me for so many overdraft fees, bro. Exactly. And these motherfuckers sent me like a $7 what you call that shit? What is it? A class action suit motherfucking loan payment. For them
you
motherfuckers,
have to be the one to get the lawyer, Fantastic. You have to be the one to get the lawyer versus the one sign up with the lawyer.
I wish I didn't know. That's OG.
So what I'm trying to say is this has happened in the last 2 years. So There's difference in the things that y'all gonna have to face in the future, as far as classism, racism, sexism, homo or transformalism, and all them lism. Now you gonna have to ask a girl, was she always a girl her life, how she was born. So I do understand evolution. I'm not one of these brothers who get on here and say, oh no, you know, the master ain't gonna like you to do that. I've never had that type of conversation. I just want to have the full conversation. So if people do go out here and blind and think there's not some old people who got some old money who still wants to dictate or be a puppy master, then you'll know the clues. You'll know the signs when you deal with that type of person. I'm not here to say the white man is standing in front of your house and holding a gun and you keep you from going out of your house doing better. I have never been one of them type of brothers. I don't like them type of brothers, but I don't want them to die. I don't hate them so much. Or you should die, because you never know what that person experienced. Like you don't know.
I
what
didn't
a
say
person
that, by the way.
experienced.
I didn't say you should die. I said I'm waiting for y'all to die off.
Okay. Well, thank you for the clarification, brother. I do appreciate that.
We all gonna die.
I'm one. Okay. All right, we all right now. You know, I know you my cousin. I know you my cousin, but you ain't gonna tell nobody because I think the way I think. But anyway, so I'm not Vantage. You know me. Like I get on here with these young brothers. I try to help them brothers with their court cases. Look, why you think I don't live my life? I'm not trying to be in front of carrying the baton and trying to lead somebody and try to be nobody's leader. Only thing I'm trying to do is offer a little information that might help one of you young brothers get out of a situation that you might go get in or you're already in. That's all I am. I ain't trying to tell nobody to think like me. I ain't trying to push nobody in that direction. What I am trying to do is I love my community. Just as many white people did great things for me. Matter of fact, 2 of my staff members was white. So I'm not one of these brothers sitting around here with a red, black, and green flag and hate the United States. What I'm just saying is I look out for my best friend. I'm 62 years old now. I'm ready to live my life where I don't have to think about none of this type of shit. But till I get there,
so
I'm gonna do what I'm gonna need to do, what I think I should do to help as many people as I can. That's just me.
So
Hey,
OG Speed.
Hold on, real quick. Let me say, shout out to Dr. Thunder for the cash app. Thank you, Dr. Thunder. Hey, hit my email if you're still in the chat, man. I only got a short period, bro. I'm out of here on Monday. So Dr. Thunder, if you can, man, fit me in your schedule. Let's see what either, let's say, shit. Probably be either Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Let me know. But
you
go
be
ahead.
on that boat for about 6 months, ain't you?
Oh, at least six,
okay.
minimum 6, probably about 7.
Okay,
probably about strong 7.
Hey man,
my brother was a nuclear engineer for the Navy.
This your last tour? This your last boat tour?
Oh,
Fantastic.
most definitely. Yeah, man. This is my last Fantastic Voyage, bro. This is it. This is it.
So what you we gonna say up there in the corner?
Right.
I can't see your name up there. You was gonna say something. I know you had something to say.
I was gonna say that you are 2 years older than my father, right?
Yes, sir.
So, but he didn't experience none of this stuff you talk about. My father was 60.
Okay.
And he didn't raise me to think white supremacy was never something that was taught in my house.
He shouldn't.
Race
if he didn't go through the experience, how could he tell you about something he didn't go through?
When I was raised, I didn't know I was black until I was in 6th grade.
And look, if he was a pimp, he should be telling he was a pimp. If he was a professor, he should be telling you the experience. So he professor. So if he didn't experience white supremacy or none of that stuff, he shouldn't have been teaching it to you.
The point I'm trying to make is he recognizes racism.
We agree with that.
Let me get the point out. Me and my siblings were never raised to have this idea of race and white supremacy. I didn't know I was black until I was in the 6th grade and they started teaching about the civil rights movement. I didn't know I was black. I was just a kid who was around a bunch of other kids when I lived in New York City and when I moved down to North Carolina. And because of that, I have a different mindset than most of the blacks. I was in the Bronx.
I know the Bronx, but I'm talking about what part of North Carolina you was in? Charlotte, North Carolina?
I'm in northeastern North Carolina.
Northeastern? Okay, I was born
like by the Virginia
I was born right there in Queen City.
25.
So I know if you was in any part of North Carolina, you seen some. And you could be in it now all you want to.
Nope.
I don't know how old you are.
Nope.
But you can't tell me your father didn't experience no racism in North Carolina.
No, my father was raised in New York City. I'm from New
I
York City.
understand he was in the Bronx.
I
That's where
moved
my
out here
mom.
when I was
That's where my
young.
mom was. I was raised by my dad.
Yeah,
I used to
no,
go
I
to the
didn't
Bronx
say he didn't
every year.
experience. I didn't say he didn't experience racism, or see it. I'm saying he didn't push it on us.
I
He didn't make
understand
us
that.
feel
But
like
if
we
he
have to be
experienced
all huffed
racism,
up
that
and
means
on the
that there had to be
lookout for a
somebody on
white
the
man
other
coming
side
to
of that
kill us.
street
Let me get
who
it out,
thought
bro.
they were
Let me get it out, bro.
superior than him.
I gotta wrap it up. I gotta wrap it up because let me get
Go
out.
ahead,
I
go
gotta
ahead,
leave
go
soon.
ahead. You wrap it up like a Christmas
My
present.
parents didn't push that. They didn't push that narrative. They didn't push that. You gotta look out for a white man. This boogeyman. Oh, you gotta be prepared. No, that's not how we were raised. And I believe it's one of the reasons why me and my siblings are a little further ahead than other black people. There's a lot of black people, they're raised with this oppression mentality. We hear it on these panels every day. I've been hearing it all week long about
Okay, so
how
what would you
Kyle
say about
Rittenhouse is an example of
Richard
why
Williams?
white supremacy is still
Can I ask you a
strong in this
question?
country.
Hey,
And I'm
what would
saying,
you say
let me
about
finish.
Richard Williams, who raised his daughters totally different from what you just said? To become the best one of the best two tennis players in the world. What
That's
would
not
you say
most black
about
people.
his raising his daughter
I
and
would
the
say he was
way
a great
that you
father, but that's
say,
not most black people.
wait. Listen to what I'm just saying. And the way that you say is so hateful and it's so bad for our community. I'm just saying this, as all my 5 children, even though they all was in the same house, there was different tactics I used with all of them. So maybe you one of them children not need to be raised that way. And that's cool and that's fine. And you turned
I
out all
think
right.
that black people need to take a model from
No,
white
what I'm trying to
parents.
say is
Because the
he
model
raised
I'm
2
seeing,
tennis players and he
first, let me
told
finish,
them
bro. I
what
gotta
they was
leave.
going to be
OJ
up
Speed.
against.
OJ
Well,
Speed,
listen
I
what I'm
gotta
just saying.
leave, OJ Speed.
Listen
I
to
don't
what
have
I'm
all
saying.
day.
He told them what they was going to be up against. He told them why they was going to be up against it. You understand what I'm saying? That didn't stop them from achieving. Matter of fact, it motivated them to be better.
But that's not, bro, that's not most black people, and you know this.
I
Most black people
understand,
today
but what I'm just saying
they
is what
still
you
think,
talking about,
OJ
your
Speed,
dad didn't see
you gotta
white
let me rock, bro.
supremacy
I gotta
in
go.
the
I gotta
60s. That's
OJ
not the most
Speed,
black people.
gotta let me rock, oh nigga. I gotta leave. You gotta let me
Okay,
rock.
I'll be
That's
your old
not
black man,
most
but I
black
won't be
people,
your
and you
old
know
nigga.
it.
So that's a slave
That's not
name.
most
So
black people.
you
Most
keep that
black
to
people think
yourself.
that Kyle Rittenhouse was a white supremacist who was going out to shoot black people. That's the mentality of most black people. To the point where TD Jakes was outwardly quoting misinformation from the mainstream media. And I'm telling you, most black people weren't raised the way I was. Most black people weren't raised to see
You're
a lot of
moving the
information. They
goalposts,
weren't.
brother. I was talking about
I'm
Serena
not.
Williams.
I'm not. I ain't talking about Serena Williams. I'm talking about me. You brought that
Why
up.
you don't want to talk about it? Because that is a
I
success
don't,
story that
because I'm
somebody
not
was
them. I'm
raised
not
in
Serena
the
nor
way
my
that you
Venus. I
say
don't
they
care.
shouldn't be raised. That is a success story that you
I'm
don't want to
talking
deal with.
about how I was raised, not
I
anomalies.
understand
How I was
about it. We
raised
already
versus how
clarified that your father didn't go through
I'm
no
talking about
racism
how,
all through
nigga,
his life. He's
shut
60
up.
years old. He moved from Bronx
Stop
to
cutting me off.
North Carolina,
Stop cutting me
which
off, old
is
nigga.
part of the Mason-Dixie line, but he never experienced anything as far as white supremacy. So we understand that. Y'all got one of them
That's not what I said.
superhero type families
That's
that
not what I
Marvel
said.
should make a
That's
book
not what I
about.
said.
Negroes
That's not
who
what I said.
can go outside
That's not
of
what,
poverty and don't deal with anything that everybody else did and become a success
that's
story.
not what I said,
That
old
would
nggga.
be
But if
a
you let me
Marvel
clarify before I
comic
have to
book,
go.
and it would
Oh,
probably be a
nigga, come on, bro.
bestseller.
Shut up. Shut up, man. I'm trying to talk. Damn. Look, my father experienced a modicum of racism. I haven't experienced any racism in my 32 years of life. None. And I live in the South. Not one iota. Okay.
Let
But
me
I'm
ask
telling
everybody
you,
else on the
going
panel, have
forward,
they
let
have that
me finish.
experience?
I gotta go, bro. No, stop. Let me finish.
Fantastic.
Going
Have you ever
forward,
experienced
if
that?
black people want
Because
to
he
move forward,
filibustering now.
they're going to have to
Have you ever
stop pushing
experienced
this.
racism? Fantastic.
Oh my God. Fantastic. Can you let me
Yes.
rock? Can you tell him let me rock?
The
Let
guy,
him go,
Wizard
OG.
X, have you ever experienced racism?
Yes.
Mr. What's that? Mr. KP, have you ever experienced racism?
Yes, but I didn't lean on it as
No.
a point.
That wasn't the question. The question was, have you experienced? I'm just making a point here. This
I haven't.
kid,
I haven't.
Dallas,
Nope.
he's got to be one of the most luckiest Negroes ever born on this planet.
Nope. None of my siblings have either. How about
Okay.
that? And there's a lot of black
I'm
people.
telling you,
Trey and
y'all
MBD
must
would Trey the
look.
MBD would agree with me.
Oh, okay. Well,
All right.
I just
If
say,
we're going forward, that OJ Speed, this is my last quote. You got to be quiet.
Yes.
Going forward, black people have to let go of this narrative. They got to let go of the past. They have to let go of this oppression
Well, how
narrative.
can you
Right
tell
now,
somebody who
it's only
experienced something and you have never experienced how
okay,
you
but
gonna
you
be able
guys
to
are
clarify
dying
the
off.
problem?
Okay, you're dying off. Thank God.
No,
So
again,
nobody will
I'm
be
saying
alive
is how
who
can you
say
wait a minute.
that they've
How can
experienced
you become
racism.
this great
You
doctor?
gotta move on, and the only way to
Don't
move
have
forward
any
is to stop
experience of anything
indoctrinating I
complication
was
as
chosen
far as
with this
medical,
Marxist
but you
nonsense.
go tell people how they go cure themselves.
I said what I had to say. Going forward,
I know you
if you
did,
want to see,
but you got to
you want to see
understand you're
things,
an
you want to see things
individual.
change. You got to stop indoctrinating your children with Marxist nonsense. That's all I got to say.
Have these discussions
I'm out.
40 years
I'm
from
out.
now.
I can't do it no more. I'm out. All right, fantastic. I see you.
All right, bro.
Go ahead and do your thing, bro. Do your thing. Do your James Brown, Michael Jackson, and all the other stuff. Move the goalpost.
All right. Okay, old nigga. have a nice time, old nigga. Have a cold smile.
Hey, man, yeah, man. Listen, OG again, man. It's just this. It does get back to the essence of the original conversation. The racism thing is just isn't, like I said, it's been proven right here. This brother, even though he's facing time for the gun charge or whatever, he did the impossible and beat a murder charge linked to the commission of a crime of him having possession of a firearm as a convicted felon. Okay, he beat the murder charge and he beat the attempted murder charge of a police officer. And again, man, if he was black, I mean, this answers the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. This man had a shootout. Go ahead.
My question is, why don't they publicize that on the certain news outlets?
You can't.
Exactly.
Well, what was
people
story,
wake up? Wake up! They not publicizing.
Fantastic.
OG is a brother named Andrew Coffey the fourth. He was charged. I think he said this happened back in 2017. There was a warrant being served. He's a convicted felon, but it was a gun in the house. He didn't know who was breaking in the house, so he used the gun to defend the house. In the process of him shooting, since he shot at the police, they shot up. They shot back and they killed his girlfriend in the process. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but in the commission of a crime, being that he's a convicted felon,
I understand.
Anything he does with a gun is going to be a commission of a crime. So they tried to charge him with the murder of his girlfriend, even though the police killed him, and the attempted murder of a police officer because he shot a police officer. But he beat the murder charges. He beat both of the murder charges, but he stuck with the gun charge. Huh?
But listen to this, Mr. Fantastic. We had a series that came on TV talking about a young man who not only beat a lot of charges, he had life. He became a lawyer in prison. Not only did he get other inmates off that was innocently, he got himself off so good that one of the DA ended up killing himself in Vegas. So we have had examples of supreme black minds in our community. But I give y'all that. But what I'm trying to say is these are, you always say this, Mr. Fantastic, that just because something happened and you are the minority, that don't make it the majority. There's been a lot of people who go to jail and been wrongly convicted and become supreme in knowing the law and have went to the courtroom, fired their lawyers, and got off. They had a whole series on TV about this one guy. He's still a lawyer today. He's been out. So, look, man, I know we're supreme. I know we're born with the same brain as any other race. That ain't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is for us to be in denial that there's not some hurdles out there, maybe due to the melatonin in your skin, then you are walking the street blindly like Steve.
Melanin, J Speed. Melatonin is stuff to help you sleep. But go ahead, brother.
Melatonin is what you get your skin color. So I just used the whole word. You have to get it at 9 o'clock. It comes in when the moon in it, and it is what gives you your skin color. Melanin, you're talking about melanin. That's just the word itself. But melatonin is the source of what gives you your skin color.
Okay, I'll Google it.
I had one question for OG. I think I might have missed his thought process on Kyle Rittenhouse. I know a lot of people, I think on the left, have kind of said that he's guilty and he's racist. I wanted to know what your thoughts on it.
Is that the boy who slammed his girlfriend and head into the TV?
No.
That's the black man. That was a black man. OG, why you?
Sorry. I got you. I think Mr. Fantastic really locked that in when he's saying you are committing anything when you are breaking the law to committing it. If anything, he should. If he wasn't charged with anything else, he should have been charged with carrying a weapon at 17 years old in that city that he. I know a lot of people say there's a really gray area. There's a gray area in that. I'm just saying there's a lot of people saying there's a lot of gray area in that law. But when you read that law, the way it's written, that yes, he can go to a firearm in the commission of someone else, an adult or something like that. But he was actually carrying that weapon himself at 17 years old. And that's why they made that law in that city, let's say that state. So what I'm trying to say is forget all the rest of it. If you are committing a crime, and at that time it could be allegedly a crime shooting somebody. So I'm just saying is that whole thing, either way you look at it, nobody was going to be a winner in that, because if I was being chased with a gun, I would probably did the same thing he did. You understand? Especially somebody say he just shot somebody and then everybody's chasing after me trying to hurt me. I would defend myself. But the problem I had with all that from the beginning, he should have never been in that street carrying that gun at 17 years old anyway.
But I mean, it was legal, and he received it from a friend within the state. One thing, he also had family in that area. I mean, in Kenosha as well.
I understand, but they have a law. Wait a minute. There's somebody broke this down, right? I was looking into Kwame, what's the name? The guy actually put the law that keeps a 17-year-old. It's just like having a permit. You don't have a driving license, but you have a permit. That means you have to have an adult with you in the car while you driving. Now we know that people go get their permit, a driving permit, and they ain't gonna have no adult, and they go just start driving. But what I'm trying to say is, if you think about that, if that was the case, if that was the case, he didn't supposed to have that weapon. He wouldn't have had the problem he had if he had just followed the letter of the law.
But
That's
OG,
as far as what happened afterwards, I would have defended myself too. Look, if I shot somebody who I thought was a threat to me, and then I was trying to run away from it, and the other people start chasing me, and there was a mob out there, white, black, green, whatever, I'm not gonna let somebody hurt me. I don't see a problem with that. The only problem I see with that, him initially being somewhere with a weapon he should never been in the first place. And I don't know if they can call that a sighting or whatever, like they do a sighting, a ride or whatever. But he was in the wrong if he was carrying that weapon by the law, the way it's written. He shouldn't have never had that weapon in his possession without having an adult with him.
Yeah, but again, OG, the judge broke down to a T as to why.
If you believe in that judge, that I'm telling you, that judge was off the hook. Y'all can say what you want. Y'all know that judge was off the hook. That judge was not letting that little boy.
Actually,
he was not going to let that boy go down,
Well,
regardless of what happened.
Well, again, OG, man, this is where we come into the morality versus legality, man. The
we ain't talking about white. We ain't talking about no racism now. We're talking about actually you're going to have bad judges regardless of what color it is. That judge right there, you got other judges looking at him who just as, I would say, Republican. They look
Judge
at that
Joe
judge
Brown
and
disagrees with you. Hold on, did you just say you got respect for Judge Joe Brown, right?
No.
You respect Judge Joe Brown as a expert of the law.
But look, I respect any man who has dedicated his life to doing what Judge Joe Brown did. But let me put it this way: as any man who grows to be a man and understand that he is a man, no man is all right on any subject, even if he's an expert. And you have the right to disagree with him. And I'm telling you, that judge was totally out of character in a lot of the hearings that he was having in his courtroom. He was off the hook. He was almost like the opposite side of Judge Judy. That's off the hook. Now, you're talking about TV versus a real live judge, which Judge Judy is a judge, but she was doing a lot of stuff just for TV. This judge was actually in a real trial that affects a real person's life, and he was off the hook. So this judge, to me, I guarantee you, he gonna get some pushback how he ran that courtroom. And he throwed out the charge of the guy carrying possession of the weapon, and that's gonna come back to haunt him because a lot of evidence can't come in if you throw out that charge. So that's gonna come back to haunt him, and no judge really wants any case ever overturned, even by jury.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. I got you. OG. We'll just do it on that, man. But at the end of the day, people, this is it, man. If Kyle Rittenhouse was black, I mean, I've given all the evidence and things decided, or to compare it to, for a black man to be in commission of a crime, clearly, because again, he's a felon. Okay, he as a felon, convicted felon, should not have had a firearm, still was able to legally defend his life with a firearm and not get the murder charge. Okay. Even though he did not shoot his girlfriend. Okay. Because his girlfriend died in the commission of a crime, which is evident because he's found guilty of being a convicted felon with a firearm. So he's in the commission of a felony just by that. But still, for a group of jury, okay, a jury, to find him not guilty on both murder charges, murder and attempted murder, says a lot. Okay, says a lot. Now, even though he has up to 30 years for the gun charge, will he get the whole 30 years? I don't think so. He could. Okay,
He gonna
but
do
even
more
though
than
that's the
half
case,
of it. He gonna do more than
that's
half of it.
that's what I'm saying. Well, OG, even if he do that, what's better, half or life?
Well,
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
pretty sure
Half
he'll
of
take
30.
whatever he can get. But what are you trying to say when you make that argument? What are you trying to say is
I'm saying this.
that
I'm saying
you
this.
trying to show
Everybody
the
said everybody.
unbalance?
Well, no,
It
no,
has
this is what I'm saying.
unbalance on both
Well,
sides.
no. Well, let me answer, OG. Let me answer. This is what I'm saying. Black people, for one, act like Kyle Rittenhouse being found guilty was a win for black people in any way, shape, form, or fashion, which no, it wouldn't have been. It would have been a loss because, again, it would have set new precedents for your rights to self-defense. Okay.
Facts.
2, again, this situation points out to the fact that even when a black man is guilty, this black man is guilty because he's a felon. Okay. No matter what you want to say about a gray area about the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't a convicted felon. So that's how the gun charge was thrown out. Okay. Had he been a felon, though, the gun charge would have stuck and then everything else would have transpired on the thing. He still could have got off like this guy, even with possession of gun charge. I've been trying to get people to understand. Even with a gun charge possession illegally, you have the right within the parameters, which I put in the chat and things earlier, to still defend your life if it's, you know what I'm saying, you're in imminent danger, it's a necessity. What are all of the statutes that have to be met? This is case law. I put it in the chat earlier. Go back to the beginning of the video to see it if you didn't already see it, and do those things. That's all I'm basically trying to say, man. And ultimately, at the end of the day, as a gun owner, just as a citizen in general, man, be knowledgeable of the law. Okay, especially when you're dealing with guns. Okay, it's a lot of people, man.
Fantastic.
Go ahead.
Fantastic. You know what you just said could be considered and construed as very vague because you just totally omit that once the gun charges was thrown out, it can stop a lot of other evidence from coming in pre-hearing. See, you got to know that part of the law too, because they are hearing laws for evidence. And if you throw out something as important in that, then a lot of the stuff that the question that the lawyer was asking him, that's why he asked him them questions, is because he know the judge had already thrown them charge out.
Well, OG, respectfully, OG, no. The gun charge didn't get thrown out until towards the end of the trial, OG. The gun charge wasn't thrown out from the beginning. The gun charge, he said he was leaning towards it, but he did not finally immediately throw out the gun charge, and the state agreed to it towards the end of the trial, OG.
Okay, but listen what I'm just saying. You don't change the rules of the game in halftime. And this is the problem he's gonna have.
Listen what I'm telling. Listen what I'm trying to tell you. This decision wasn't made till after closing arguments were over with. So no evidence was.
I thought my understanding of this gun charge was thrown out way before, or they were warned that this charge would be thrown out.
Yes,
and a lot of evidence.
You're right. Hold on. I'm agreeing. The second part, the latter, is correct. He was saying that the statutes had to be met. Certain statutes and conditions had to be met in order for the gun charge to apply. He still allowed them to go forward, though.
Yes, but listen what happened in the arguments of question.
Hold on, no, you missed it. But I heard what you said. The point. Hold on, you missing the point. Even though he told them it might be thrown out, they still were able to proceed with the case as if it was not. He didn't.
You missing this point, fantastic, because there was a other part B to that. Part B to that is there was another thing he was leaning towards not letting come in evidence due to the fact that he was leaning toward throwing the gun charge. And so when the questions started to be asked about certain behaviors of that defendant, the judge got elated. Why are you saying that? If you was going to ask him that, you should have came back and told me. I told you I was leaning towards not
Well,
that evidence coming in
well,
due
hold
to this
on.
fact.
No, well, hold on. Wait. Well, again, OG, you're saying you're saying the reaction, but you're not giving the full context. The prosecution on multiple occasions violated constitutional law. He had to reprimand the prosecution on more than one occasion and warn them that, hey, man, you guys keep doing these things that you know are illegal. As seasoned, you're a state prosecutor, and not the number one, he's the backup, right? You know better than this, and you're
And
doing
that's
it
what he was
anyway.
saying to wait. That's what he was saying. He could say that to the lawyer. But if this ever go to a higher court to be overturned, them words gonna come back to haunt him. Not why he was sanctioning the lawyer
OG, listen,
because
OG,
of what he
listen.
believed, but I'm just saying he had
But
did a lot
OG,
of things. He
respectfully,
had
OG,
frustrated the lawyer so much about the evidence because he never made a clear decision on two things, two key issues. And them two key issues was the first, the gun, and the evidence can come into his state of mind about the law. So two of them things was very important for this case, for him, the lawyer, to do cross-examination, because the state of mind, like he was calling somebody a monkey. There was somebody calling somebody. He said, you can't call them that. But then when he wanted to call the defendant something, he went into the lawyer because he's saying you can't call him that. But it was good for them to call one thing. Look, man, what I'm trying to say is, look, I don't look at it as a black and white issue. What I look at it is, I know a certain part of the law. A jury do not have to convict you, even if they know you're guilty. That's not the way the law is built. And Judge Joe Brown will tell you that. A jury can come up and say, since the situation was what it was, his state of mind, believe what he did, regardless of what the evidence, a jury can come back and say not guilty. A jury is not made to make you guilty, even if the evidence shows that you are guilty. That's the law of this land. I know you never heard of that. But ask Judge Joe Brown, and every time you need to talk to him, he'll tell you a jury do not have to convict you, even though if they know you guilty.
Well, no, it's beyond a reasonable doubt. Again, so
No, it has nothing to do with that. Even if
yes,
it's beyond
it
a
has
reasonable
everything to
doubt.
do. That's the direction
No,
of
I understand. That's what most people want you to believe. But in the court system right now, in jury trial, a jury do not have to convict you guilty, even though all the evidence shows that you are guilty.
No, you're right. They don't have to. Yes, you're correct in that. No, I'm not gonna
Okay,
argue. You're
and
right.
that's
You
what
don't
I'm
have to.
saying is,
But
and there's
if
nothing
they
can be
did
done
that,
about it.
that would be in bad faith. That would be
But
them choosing in bad faith.
the law left that door open because sometimes there are
No.
situations.
The law purposely leaves the door open as, again, innocent until proven guilty
I
beyond a
understand
reason.
that's the
That's why I say
beginning of the
beyond a
trial. I'm
reasonable
talking about
doubt.
when all the
That,
evidence in it, and there's no
but do you understand? But do you
doubt that
understand
this
what
person
beyond
guilty.
a reasonable doubt means? OG, that means there's anything that's out of line. You can
I
have
understand, but
99%.
this is what I'm just saying.
The 1% can set you free.
I understand. Look, I've been in 2 trials myself, and I walked away. What I'm trying to say is, even though there's no reasonable doubt, a jury do not have to convict you. That they do not have to. I didn't know this myself till 3 years ago. Man, fantastic. I was dealing with a civil rights attorney, and I was dealing with a criminal attorney, and they brought that information out, and everybody was like jaw dropped. Like, why do you even go to court if a jury do not have to find you guilty, even though they know you guilty? And so this is what I'm saying is, on both sides, either side, whatever. I'm not calling this a black and white issue. What I am just trying to say is that you dealing with the human element, and sometimes you can have a trial like they used to have trials back in the day in the 70s, what they call passion of love. You know what I mean? A man comes in, find his wife, having sex with another man and kill both of them. And even though that person went to trial and had a jury, and everything lead to him doing it, he say he did it. He got on the witness stand and say he did it. And then jury come back and said, look, hey, in that case right there, I think in that time, in that place, you got to understand, in that time, in that place, not today, fantastic. I'm talking about in that place, in that time, that jury would say
OG,
he's not
this
guilty.
one of your movies, OG. I think you trolling me with a movie right now. This sounds like a movie, OG.
No,
It's on side in real life. You got to give me that case.
Give us the case.
I'm telling you
Give us
the
the
truth.
case.
I need that
I'm telling you.
case.
Hey, look. Fantastic. Back in the day, if a man caught his woman cheating in the house, he can pretty much get away with murder.
I just give me one case, OG. That's all I want.
Okay, I'm gonna find you a bunch.
Crime of passion.
Crime of passion. He'll tell you.
But hold on, this is what I'm saying.
Have anybody
though.
else other than me put a one in the chat? If anybody else
listen,
other than me,
OG,
chat
I've
have
heard.
ever heard
Listen,
of that.
OG, I'm not. Listen, I've heard of that. I've heard of it. This is what I'm saying, OG. You said the man got on the stand and said, "Yeah, I killed her because I loved her." I don't know, man. I don't know.
He said I lost it. Listen, what I'm just saying. He said when I seen it.
Oh, so insanity. The insanity plea. I got you. Okay.
You got me? And
I
even
got
though he didn't have an insanity trial, the people had compassion for him to be so in love with his girl. Look, women do it all the time. They even got a medical term for when women get abused and they kill their husband. They got a medical term for that.
Hey, shout out speaking of OG, man, we will be doing that tomorrow, y'all. The story of the lady that killed her husband. Damn, tomorrow probably not tomorrow because I gotta do 10-4 Tuesday, man. I gotta close it out with a grand 10-4 Tuesdays tomorrow, bro. So I don't know. I can see if I can work that in. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about that too. Yeah, but either way, yeah.
Y'all look up a crime of passion and look up
the
any
John
case
Wayne
law
thing,
on
though,
crime of passion.
with the woman cutting off the guy's his penis.
No, that was Lorena Bobbitt. That was Lorena Bobbitt. I don't know what
they classify that as a crime of passion.
Yeah, that was crazy. Old girl. Ooh, but yeah.
She was not
Hey man, either way, I got a shout out to everybody that came through, man. Shout out to Dr. Thunder. Me and Dr. Thunder, I'm gonna do this interview with him. He set me up for I think 9:30. So I gotta go ahead and close this down, man, to get ready to
Thanks, man.
look on him later.
Shout out to you. Thanks for
appreciate you, OG, for coming through, man. No problem.
I can wrestle with them little young guys. I've been doing it all my life.
I know, OG. I know.
They don't affect me no
Have a good
more.
one.
I used to get very affected when I first came. Thank you for letting me on, man. You know, I'm always support you and always look out for you. I'm gonna support all these brothers in Black Man of Spirit, regardless if I agree along with them or not. I'm gonna still go give them my support because this is their time to live. Thank you for everything. I hope when you get out there in that ship, man, you know, you don't get seasick no more. You probably pass all that, but you're gonna be out there for a while. Do y'all get the dock every once in a while?
When I come back in this thing, man, I swear to God, bro, y'all go, hey, this might be, you know, bodybuild tastic. I'm gonna be on this thing for 6 months, man. I'm gonna do nothing but lift weights and eat steaks and like every day, man, 7 days a week. I'm coming back big as shit. Okay. BABG is gonna be on another level when I get out this motherfucking boat, bro. So just be ready. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right,
hey,
take
man,
care of yourself, man. Shout out.
for sure. Greatly appreciate everybody for coming
Mr.
through, man.
KP.
That's
Shout
that
out
on
to
that
you
one,
too.
bro. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Holla.